Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Old Man's Podcast Club, the world's #1 fortnightly nonsensical podcast hosted around a plastic garden table in a secret underground bunker. I am your host, Miles Page, and tonight I'm joined by Ryan Mordew and George Williams.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
And introducing a very special guest. He's kind of like the better-looking version of George and exceedingly more scientific than Ryan, and rumoured to write podcast introductions better than Miles. It's Josh Deeley.
Hello.
Hi.
You alright?
So, if this is your first time listening, we're very sorry. We are the Buds with the Surds. We're three friends united by love for pubs, beer, and a number of other things which we use this podcast to discuss them in great detail. However, this is a special episode. This is episode 6.5. An episode dedicated exclusively to Game of Thrones, Season 8, with in-depth discussion and probable argument. And probably at this point, a good time to say, if you're not up to date,
This is a spoiler cast.
Don't even listen. Just come back when you've watched
Pause, go watch.
at least up to Season 8, Episode 3, if you're listening in the very much future.
yeah, because even if you're on episode
If you
1,
watched,
we're still going to...
if you've watched episode 4 already and you're listening to this, then
Get in contact.
Welcome to history.
welcome to these completely pointless comments and discussions.
This week we haven't got any beer reviews. It's a different show. We have got beer. We've all kind of bought... Well,
I was meant to bring some,
you were meant to bring some.
which means I'm now drinking out of a
Tupperware.
some Tupperware, basically something that a curry came in.
Punishment has been
for
served.
getting
Drinking our beer.
I bought the beer.
Yeah,
I put
yeah.
it next to the front door to go, but did I pick it up on the way
Well, I've
out?
got beer that needs drinking. I'll bring that. All right, George.
That was me. Not 20 hours ago.
Good job I went to the shop. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I know, yeah.
Oh God, I know.
You're still making it look pretty classy drinking out of that, though, to be fair.
It's true. If there was anyone around this table that could drink,
It's got to slow down. It's not having any more.
what?
There's
how
a good
much
boy.
How much mill are those?
They're tiny. They're 250ml.
250.
In fairness, you could run the same container under the tap and get some water, hot or cold.
Yeah.
Variety of drinks available.
Do you want some squash in there?
I think I'm okay, but it's quite nice. That is for something that's what percentage?
What?
2.6.
2.6%.
2.6%.
Yeah, so these are 0.7 units each, which
that
means...
last bit wasn't good. The rest of it was nice.
You probably had a bit of curry in the last bit.
Probably. Yeah.
which means I can have like
Bit of
almost 3 of
masala
these.
with my beer. It's quite nice. You know. I don't like masala.
Well, on the back it says paired with any sort of Tupperware curry.
Nice.
So we're all
Yeah,
good.
Bring out all the flavours.
Josh with his booner.
Rogue and Josh, mate.
Sorry.
Let's jump right into
What curry would Jon Snow have?
Definitely a booner.
I think he'd have a winter warmer, wouldn't he? Really?
Yeah. I'd have a madras in that.
No, wait.
I'd want to be heated up slightly.
Hold on. He'd have a korma because he knows nothing.
Oh, I like that.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
I like
damn.
that. Well, I feel like we need to finish this. Who's going to have a curry? What would I have? Sorry.
You got to think as well, because what we've seen so far. Let's run with this. What we've seen so far is that Sansa is struggling to get in a lot of food for the people of Winterfell because of all the armies and whatnot. And you got to think what foods are available, like a dansack. I don't think the ingredients are there.
No.
Like maybe in King's
Not
Landing.
up there.
No.
Maybe in King's Landing.
Like, so what have you probably got available to you in Winterfell?
A couple of herbs and
Some
a bit of
potatoes.
dried
Rabbit.
meat, some potato.
Oh yeah, not a nice.
Rabbit.
There'd be it. Really, it's going to be stew.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Rabbit stew.
Yeah.
But maybe it's Winterfell. It's basically like the second biggest city. It's Birmingham, and Birmingham have got some fantastic curry houses. So maybe they've got a fantastic store of.
But they've also got lorries to deliver things, you know?
They do, yeah.
Winterfell doesn't really have like a
They've
curry
got stores.
mile either.
They could be full of different spices.
I think
and-
you underestimated the Unsullied here. That they haven't bought up some mean spice from down south.
the Unsullied.
Each of them keeps a little pocket of spice in their shield.
Rack and just be going ham on that.
Yeah, each of them got their own personalised little Tupperware pot of their own mix.
Dothraki's confused while they're cooking the meat. They're just off the bone,
Raw.
kid. Yeah, raw.
What are you doing to that chicken?
What are you doing to it?
Oh, what does it make me think of? Oh, this is Gollum and Lord of the Rings, isn't it?
Oh yes.
Boil it, cook it, put it in a stew.
Boil it. Yeah,
Boil it, mash it, chuck it in a stew.
Boil them, mash them, stick
See,
them in
no,
the stew.
they could probably do Bombay potatoes.
Oh yeah.
I'd imagine that's something they could definitely do a lot of.
Potentially.
Yeah, in a good amount as well, so you could really feed the many.
To be fair, in the build up to the Battle of Winterfell, when the little girl who did an awful job of defending the crypts, I just might add.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, little bitch.
Her food did not look that appetizing. Just there we
But
go.
maybe that was it. Maybe she didn't get the sustenance needed to fight.
Yeah.
So if she'd have had that Bombay
bad
potatoes,
excuse.
she'd have been,
Sorry you all
fucking up the
died.
undead.
To be fair, did she have any?
Had a weak sandwich at lunch.
I mean, like, she didn't have a weapon.
Yeah, no, it was.
I thought she did have a weapon.
No, it was pretty poor. To be fair, like
Yeah,
let's,
it wasn't.
let's put
actually- it
all of
wasn't
the weak
dragon
people
glass.
in the crypts where the undead are. As
was
this
all
guy that
very-
can raise the dead comes along, but let's not give him any weapons. It'd be fucking hilarious.
That was a plot hole. And also, why was
Wait,
there
was
not,
it? What was the plot hole?
like everyone going down in the crypts? Like, under normal battle circumstances.
Yeah, they were
like-
saying that it was going to be like the safest place as well, weren't they?
That's what I
it
said.
was going to end up
Well, it
being
kind of
that.
was the safest place until
But everyone had that whole theory.
hands were
Everyone knew
risen.
before that, they had this vision of Ned Stark coming up through the floor and all this kind of.
yeah.
There's Ned Stark.
But he's not there, is he?
No,
I
they
don't
sent
know.
they sent his remains, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
You'd,
they did.
you'd have thought they
No,
would.
but they didn't. What about the head?
Oh, I don't know about that.
They would have brought the head back though, wouldn't
No.
they? Surely.
No, because remember this. Maybe
I don't know.
I can't remember. Possibly.
Yeah, Josh,
Possible.
bring that mic right up to your face, man.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
We may have been missing everything you've been saying. Hello, this is Josh.
Hi. Hello, and
We've been
welcome to
missing
the.
this guy.
Yeah, were we hoping for dead Ned Stark, or?
Not. I wasn't
Hello,
needing it. I didn't need it personally.
I mean, I suppose in theory we could have seen him.
Yeah, it would have
What
been.
was that? Sorry.
It'd have been cool, but
To have seen
unnecessary
Ned
because everyone
Stark,
would have been like, "Hey!" and that's taken up too much screen time.
yeah.
Zombified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would have probably annoyed a lot of people as well, though.
I don't know if it was needed. It would have
Yeah,
been.
it wouldn't have been.
But I think the thing is, because there was so many, like every second in that was kind of thought about. I think like thoroughly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to get Sean Bean in for basically probably about 3 or 4 seconds of him
Yeah,
going crawling out.
He's
of
pretty pretty good at doing short scenes. Though,
Yeah,
isn't he?
yeah. He could have died again. He could have been the one that died.
Yeah, he would.
He could
Come
have
back
came
for a
in,
minute and
you're
then
off.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing if he just
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
on already dead and
Mind
then
you,
dead.
Yeah, it would have been.
It's basically a cameo in a series he's already been in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would have made Kit Harington a bit jealous, though, because he's the only member of the cast that's
And-
died.
Yeah, to what? Yeah.
Well, died once.
Yeah,
Couldn't
but
come back.
no, this is what I was going to say. He would have been, for him, that would have been the first thing he'd ever have done, surely, that he started and died twice in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
it
started-
would
that
have
would've
been breaking his own death
Or
record.
even 3 times if risen and then...
I mean, like there was
Yeah, because he rises them all again,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
it?
It's
Could have
like,
killed Ned,
oh,
rise
yeah.
again.
Sorry, I have a little question
Three
about that
times.
actually. When the Night King raised the dead,
He re-raised
did
them,
he
didn't
re-raise the people that he had already raised before, or was it just the people that were killed
No.
in battle?
No, he re-raised again, didn't he? I
no,
thought.
just the people in battle. I thought.
That's what I
Wait,
thought,
wait,
but
so
I wasn't
I
100%.
Well, because you can only kill them by dragon glass. So if it's actually... you're probably right. So if it's actually been killed by
Yeah,
dragon
it's
glass...
been gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you've just chopped its head off and it's
Yeah.
fell to the floor or whatever, then it'll probably
yeah.
just rise again.
The thing
I
with the
imagine
guys
so
that have
anyway.
already, the people that were alive at the start of the episode, so like the Dothraki that were raised and whatnot,
They join the army.
they joined the army of
Yeah.
the dead. Now the only way you have to burn the bones, the remains, don't
Yeah.
you,
Yeah,
for them
yeah,
to
yeah.
not join?
Yeah,
And if I understand.
yeah, or the dragon glass, or the what do you call it? Steel. What's it called?
No, isn't
Valerian.
that just
Valerian
for the people
still.
that are already dead though? So like,
No,
Sorry,
I think
sorry,
Miles
go
is
on.
talking about stopping them being raised. So the only way to do that is to burn them.
Right.
I think.
But so
Yeah.
that means surely,
But should-
therefore, that when
but
you
when you
re-raise
put
them,
the-
that would have re-raised all
when
the
you-
ones that had been killed in battle already, though. Surely, when you because they're coming back.
Yeah,
because
because when you get if it's dragon glass and you stab them with dragon glass, they basically blow up.
Yeah, but
Don't they?
right.
They basically
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
they go.
yeah.
They
yeah,
literally shatter, don't they?
That's the White Walkers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they, but it's the same with the what you call it as well. That's I'm pretty sure it's the same with all the normal zombie.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm following. Yeah.
If it's the dragon glass, they shatter, and I think it's the same with the steel because that's the only thing that can kill a White Walker or whatever it is, and then fire as well. If they burn down, they can't come back.
Do you know what was cool? Speaking of Valerian Steel,
Yeah.
there's Brienne and Jamie were fighting together, and there's that one shot, and only kind of realised in hindsight, but they were using Ned Stark's sword to defend Winterfell.
They were,
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
That's
Yeah,
so
I didn't even
wholesome.
notice.
Well,
both of those swords are made out of Ned Stark's sword ice.
because he
right.
had this. You remember? Okay, so you know the first ever episode of Game of Thrones,
Big
where,
bastard
Yeah,
sword.
yeah.
where he chops
When he chops the guy's head off.
that a massive.
He's seen the
sword.
White Walkers, isn't he?
Yeah, and that huge.
Yeah, if they'd have just listened to the crazy guy that wasn't actually crazy,
Yeah.
this could have all been prevented.
He was a deserter though.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
What does he say? He who swings the sword. No, he who tells the
He who gives the sentence must swing the
swing the
sword.
sword. Fantastic, lovely line. I also like that first line in that first episode, which is when they get all the you'll feed them, and if they die, you'll bury them yourself. So it's like,
the
oof.
dire wolves.
Yeah.
By the way, I've forgotten the name of the actual dire wolf now, but it's still alive.
Ghost. Oh, thank God.
Ghost is still
Is it
alive.
Ghost?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
next.
yeah.
It's in the next
Fantastic,
trailer,
good,
next
good.
episode.
'Cause when I saw him go to battle, I was just like, they're all gonna die, but they won't actually care
Yeah,
about his ghost.
everyone thought Ghost was dead though when it
Yeah.
goes running in with the Dothraki.
Yeah,
Do
I was
we
like,
care?
no. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Duh.
Do you care?
I
No,
Me
not
neither.
really. It's
Mormon, I was just like,
like-
yeah, he can go. Ghost, come back, kid.
to compare, it's just like Doggo, isn't it? Now he's got a dragon and he's left his old pet behind. It's a bit shit to be
That's just
fair,
like-
isn't it?
it's just-
Nah, they'll be best friends. That's why he's fire and ice. He's...
Okay, that's the only justification.
I want to
I've heard
see.
so far.
I want to see Ghost riding a dragon. That's it. I'm
Yeah.
done then.
Yeah,
Okay.
but when you see Jon Snow on the being the king and he's
Yeah.
got Ghost sitting next to him, that would look class.
Yeah, that was class. Yeah, ooh, yeah,
Like,
on the throne.
right next to him.
Stroking him. It'd be a little bit kind of like daunting, wouldn't it? Coming into the and he's like, "Hello."
You could
Bond-esque.
get in fairness,
Like a
you
James
could
Bond villain.
Yeah.
get, you could get a cat with the same effect though.
Fuck if I'd killed everyone and I'd got the Seven Kingdoms, I'd become the Bond villain. Like, you'd want to get a little bit more austere and a little bit. Fucking, I want this big throne to spin around. Someone turns in, all those swords turn in on the till. That'd be brilliant.
Everyone will be drinking out of Tupperware.
Everyone, talking about my Tupperware, it's a bit dry.
You should have brought some beer then, shouldn't you?
Sting.
That was
Sting.
the witty comment I was searching for myself.
Yeah.
So, do you wanna just go from the start of the episode? There's the opening credits and baby.
One, okay,
Oh, did you?
credits
that
for class.
Did that change
Yeah,
again?
big
Did
time,
you see that?
big
Yeah.
The
time.
army standing right outside
Yeah.
Winterfell. That was wicked.
Yeah, and then
like
it ended on the throne.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was I was watching that, and even watching that, Liv came down. I was watching it. She was just like, "What? Why are you?" I thought it was only just started. Why are you so excited? I was
Yeah,
like,
so-
"You haven't seen the start of it. Everything changes."
It's wicked that they're putting that much like level of detail into just the introduction, though.
Oh,
Do
it's
you know what I
amazing.
mean?
So every episode. So I don't know if you know. I think you guys do. But so every single episode, the start, every single one's different because it actually shows you where they're going to go in the world. So you know how it goes down from a camera angle, and it will go to
right.
Winterfell, and then it will go off to King's Landing. It's because basically the first part of the show will start in King's Landing, and then it will go to.
That's wicked.
So it actually,
yeah.
so it actually shows you where it's going to go in that episode, which I always thought was pretty cool. But when it ended
did
up,
not know that.
because I was really confused, because when it ended up at the throne, I was like, what does that mean? I was like, why is it ending there? But it was just right. I'm pouring my beer into my Tupperware again.
Yeah. Should we just pause for a moment and you can reflect on your mistakes?
There you go. Left it. You can't get much froth in those. No one else can hear that. It's too far away. Sorry, guys.
A beer is slowly dribbling into some Tupperware.
Yeah.
It's rectangular Tupperware.
It is rectangle.
It's yeah. So this is the episode of the big fight. We've all been building up to it. We've had 2 hours previous to this episode of pure hype. We start off. I guess the main significant thing is it's it's very quiet. There aren't many lines that are spoken, and we see all the troops outside of Winterfell, and everyone's going, "Holy shit, here we go!"
No one needs to say anything.
No.
I'm just as scared as everyone else. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Everyone's literally sitting there like, fuck, who's going to die?
I think it was really good that it was quiet. You got loads of time. The suspense,
The suspense was like, actually got to me.
and then
No TV show has ever made me feel so. Like I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. Like usually there's something in my head, and it's like we know what's going to happen.
But
In the
isn't
end,
that like a good filmmaking mechanism? Because sound can be so crucial, but actually the silence or
Sometimes the lack of sound.
there's just like a little bit of someone moving a little bit in their armor or something.
Well,
It's just
I have
Yeah.
to say the most underrated thing about that episode was the sound the whole way through.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The music, everything
Yeah.
about it was amazing.
I don't want to
Yeah.
jump the gun a bit here. We're going to work through progressively, but the music on the scene building up to when Aya does the deed.
yes.
Yeah.
Like the piano
Yeah, I know.
music. Oh, that was great.
Because I thought basically I was literally like they're gonna fucking cut it here, aren't they? The dickheads. They're it's just gonna cut, and he's like, "Ah!" next week. And
I
was like,
paused
"Oh,
it
no."
and I was, hold on, we're
Yeah,
jumping,
no,
we're jumping,
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
back
yeah.
fun fact about the music.
Yeah,
Josh just mentioned the piano.
yeah.
That's only the second time in the whole Game of
Yeah.
I
Thrones
knew that.
that they've used
Oh,
piano.
really?
And
Yeah.
that's why.
When
And
was
the
the
other
first
time was
the other time was when
explosion, wasn't
Cersei
it?
blew up.
Yes.
The
The,
green,
uh,
the big green
yeah.
explosion.
Love
Something
that.
of Baelor, is it?
Oh no, it's
Crypt-
yes,
Crypt-
yeah, yeah.
Citadel,
That
whatever.
was
I can't
brilliant.
remember.
I actually loved that episode.
Yeah, that
because
was the only
that,
other time.
That was that kind of because what's the ginger one woman that she knew that she was like, do you not think that Cersei knows her presence that isn't here?
Oh, Marjorie.
Yeah, Marjorie. She's just like, it means something if she's not here. She's not stupid.
The ginger one.
Yeah.
She's not. Well,
Oh, she's quite strawberry blonde.
yeah.
Sorry. Let's not talk about colours, Miles. Come on, I know you're a little bit.
Was Miles colourblind?
No, but
I
we had
did meet someone the other day that was colourblind. It's very interesting.
we know someone who's colourblind. We had a
Jack.
bit of a funny story. Here you go, Jack. If you're listening to this, you know the story anyway. We bring it up all the time. So I was probably, this is quite a few years ago. He was probably about 16 at the time. I was probably about 18 or something like that. And we're sitting there around the dinner table, and we've got a bottle, a lot of this. I think it was a Heineken bottle. I think you can all imagine it, green bottle. And when he pours the beer out of the green bottle, the beer is the same colour. He is always seen beer as green, and he never knew. So because I was saying to him, oh yeah, this like brown, beer's like greeny colour, isn't it? And he was like, because we weren't talking about him being, and he was like, nah, it's green. I was like, what are you going about? It's green. So for like 16, 17 years, he thought beer was green. It was just, and then I was like, and then we blew his mind. He was like, fuck off. But yeah, there you go.
It's a bit weird stuff out there.
Yeah, that is strange, isn't it?
You don't even
He's
know.
just
it's
acclimatized to it. There's
yeah.
no. It's not weird to have green beer because everyone's always drinking green beer. You know what I mean? Hops are green.
But
Do you know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
It's not like it's printed out on like boards saying, yes.
green.
Yeah, I suppose you hadn't got to
beer.
golden IPAs yet. Golden?
Maybe you just meant the flavour was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, bit of a kind of.
I just kicked a microphone into my face.
Yeah. Sorry, a bit of a tangent.
Guys.
So
Back to Josh.
Dothraki are there, and then Lady Melisandre shows up in her usual slow motion fashion.
Just
Mate, that
bloody-
horse just must be fed up of going
walking.
so slow.
No man,
She just like walks everywhere as well, doesn't she? She's never got any pace to her. She's just.
never.
To be fair, when she takes her necklace off, she looks like 200 years old, so she's probably got a bit of arthritis
But let's be
going on,
honest,
you
when
know.
she's got it on.
So,
I'd keep it on as well.
so she comes along,
The Kellogg's adverts
lights
with
up
your
all the
head.
swords, and you get this mad old scene, and then the Dothraki charge, and you get the shot, well, from Jon and Daenerys' perspective of all the lights going out.
Yeah. The lights were dwindling, weren't they? I was
Dwindling.
watching. I was just like, "They're just going to go out, aren't they?"
Everyone got so
kind of-
pumped when she got all the swords up.
Yeah.
And then-
That's it. It
this
was
is gonna
like, oh my
boss,
god,
and
they're
then-
actually gonna like do some damage, and
Yeah,
they're gonna actually
yeah.
like break the line of the undead or something.
Yeah.
But then they just they get fucked.
And the shots though, like at the start of that episode, when we were talking about the silence, like when it's looking over the whole of like Winterfell, the shots just look insane, don't they?
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got the moonlight, and then it gets really dark, and this. Oh.
I've seen a lot of people saying that it's like
Everyone's complaining about how dark it is.
Yeah, but
yeah.
but it's also. But do you not think that adds to the eeriness? The fact that the
Yeah.
dead are coming in the night,
I
like
liked
that
it.
is, and it's obviously easier to film as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's probably
Yeah.
why they've done it as well. But
Well, I guess the issue, like, I closed the curtains. It was getting dark anyway. Turned the lights off, and I watched it in the dark, and it was fine.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but
Yeah.
if you're watching this
And-
like it's like a bloody soap, like midday. Oh yeah, let's put this on.
It
You
doesn't
know,
work.
It doesn't work. Like the whole point is you're meant to be watching this in like an atmosphere, kind of like going to the film, like
Yeah.
going to.
It was
cinema.
basically
It's
a
that-
movie. It was like an hour and 20 minutes long. That is essentially a
And I
film.
said that. Out of there.
There's a
I
couple
said
of things to
happily
be
went-
said
went
about
to
the
cinema to go
dark.
see
If you watch it, it's progressively the series has got darker and darker as night and the winter comes in. This is
Yeah.
the long night, so that's a metaphor there. There's also a thing of Dothraki charged off into the night, and the screen just got blacker and blacker. It's a demising sense of hope, isn't it?
Yeah.
2 more points though. We've all streamed it, and video compression over streaming, all the blacks kind of become the same. So if you watch it like on a larger TV on Blu-ray or something, it will probably look quite a bit
it looked
better.
incredible.
And if it's that bad though, surely you could just. I saw one video of this guy kicking off on Twitter, and I think he just played around with his TV settings to make it a bit
People
more.
don't know
If
how
it's
to
that
do it.
dark, do you know
You're
what I
right,
mean?
people don't know
You
how
just
to
play
do it.
around with the settings if you literally
Invert
can't
black and
see-
white.
If you wait.
Oh my god, it's a battle in the snow.
Don't listen to your
There was another thing, and everyone comparing it to Helm's Deep, because like remember the Battle of Helm's Deep? It's really quite bright for in the middle of a valley.
I suppose so.
It was, but
Which
the
went
whole
to the
point is
dark.
it was pouring down with rain, but the moonlight was there. You know, like
Well,
that was what was the light.
It was
in that.
massively unrealistically bright Helm's Deep, but no one really complained. When the director of that was asked about of that fight was asked about where's the lighting coming from, his response was, the lighting is coming from the same place as the music.
Fair play.
But apparently, like the Game of Thrones thing is keep it
No,
realistic. Like it's
Very different takes on it. Helm's Deep was bloody brilliant. But in its own respect, I think it should have been the Game of Thrones episode should have been dark, because the whole point was it was pitch black. You had this bloody ice storm coming from the Night King.
Oh yeah.
Bloody Daenerys couldn't see any signal fires. Of course, it's bloody dark. Come on, like what do you expect?
I think it would have been nicer for it to have been lighter at the start, and then you
Got
know when
dark.
that big cloud came over, because that was the whole point. That's what they were bringing down. That's what it. They
Okay,
wanted
yeah,
to
yeah, I
cover
see what
everything
you're
with.
saying.
So it would have been nice if it started out like with a really bright moonlight and everyone being able to see, and then when that comes over, and then
But would you have seen the enemy though by that point? That's the only thing. So they don't, because that's what the bit that catches you. You know the bit when
Yeah,
you see the
like-
first hit the initial line
Yeah, you
of
don't
the
see it, do
walkers.
you?
They're like crumbling on top of each other. It's
Yeah.
almost like I Am Legend-esque. You know
Yeah,
those
yeah,
things
yeah,
that
yeah.
like just crumbling around.
is it World
It
War
wasn't
Z?
like dead men running. It was more
Yeah.
like animals, really, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah,
But
it's World War Z as well.
Yeah,
the way
it's,
they
yeah,
were
it's that
going
kind.
forward.
Yeah, the
All of the-
movement. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was freaky though.
Yeah,
It was definitely freaky.
I've got to admit, like, I think one of the scariest things, and that's why I think films like Paranormal Activity kind of scare me more than like something else, is because you can't see it. So
yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
scares me more. And if you can't see it, and that was the whole point. Is like it was that last second you can hear them
Yeah.
running, and you're like, oh, they're
Or you-
definitely coming.
and
but,
the sounds
Or you-
incorporated into that.
Yeah.
All you
as
can
well,
hear is
isn't
the
it?
rushing sound of
Yeah,
death.
well, it's like
it's just
Yeah.
like
it's
horrible,
like
isn't it? It's just
Paranormal
like,
Activity. If you watch it with no sound, it doesn't even make you jump. It's that
No.
kind of thing. But
Yeah.
if you watch it with the sound, and obviously the whole thing to put
Yeah.
together, it's just like
yeah,
it's pretty
exactly.
freaky.
Yeah, but no, I think it's It's how they've worked all the lighting in and stuff like that. You've got to commend them all for all of it because it's quite masterful, really, what they've managed to do here. Because Game of Thrones, I've got to admit, for how I look at it as well, I think it's if you brought this out in the year 1998 or 2000, I think all these people would have looked at it as like, oh, this is a niche geeky thing, but oh my god, this has touched.
Well, it's cool to be geeky now. So
it's got to be a good point. Yeah, but I think so many people have taken this TV show and thought, oh my god.
I think the accessibility of it and the internet being able to hype it so much is what allowed such a huge budget to be thrown into every episode to achieve it.
The amount of people I know don't really like Lord of the Rings and that kind of stuff. It's not my type of film. It's just like, but you like Game of Thrones. Because actually, that's way deeper. Like the books there, you've got 8 books there full of nerdy kind of culture kind of thing. And, Lord of the Rings was just one big book to start off with, and they split it into 3.
Yeah.
I can see why it's different, though. It's definitely a different style.
Yeah.
I think it's harder to relate directly to the characters in Lord of the Rings. I love it, and I do. I think as an initial watcher, it's harder
to build up the character kind of relation in a longer series, I guess.
I think Game of Thrones. I mean, not for me personally, because I've bloody watched it too many times. But I think it's probably quite hard for your average Joe to actually keep and understand who's who, what house is house when they first start to watch it.
It's difficult.
I think we're in a point where we've watched it, but for your average Joe that has literally probably watched every season just once on that year it's come out, which I think most people I'd say probably have. Like, I don't know, that's why I think but you can't. These 3 Lord of the Rings films you can't get into. Does that make sense?
I get it, and I think it would have been a bit different if Lord of the Rings had been a big series.
Oh yeah, all come out now. Yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah.
What if Lord of the Rings came out now?
I know. Yeah, but you got to remember as well. They will. It's not going to be too long now till they start redoing stuff like Lord of the Rings.
Well, they're not. Because it's like the cycle. Amazon have taken up
the TV show,
the Lord of the Rings TV show. So that's going to be.
But when's that even coming out? I haven't heard anything
it's next
since.
Year.
Is it?
What was that?
No, just thinking Amazon and a Lord of the Rings TV show.
We'll see. But yeah, the Dothraki Charge.
Yeah. Yeah,
we've gone off onto Lord of the Rings.
It was a bit dumb though, wasn't it?
It was terrible strategy.
But what?
Yeah, but they decided that themselves, didn't they? Didn't the Dothraki just decide they were going?
Well, the whole point.
There was no leadership. I swear there. I didn't see a sign from Khaleesi or anything like that. It was just like. We're going. We're gone.
They obviously had their battle plan before
Mormont
they started.
was there.
It was just run in and just cut them up.
There's Mormont there, but I think I saw this great little thing on a meme type thing, and it was who's the first king, the fat one?
Robert
Baratheon, and he says, "You never go out into open field against the Dothraki, you'll never win." And then it said, "Oh, actually," because that's the whole point.
You just need an army of the undead. Well, that's the thing. I guess what they thought was the Dothraki are basically unstoppable in the open field.
They are.
They can't lose
on horse.
Against
they
the
can't.
immortals.
Yeah.
Exactly, and.
But we all know what happens when horse battle. What they should have done, because horses are always good at saving the day, as we know from Lord of the Rings.
See, what I think they should have done a different approach because when earlier in the seasons, horses were kind of startled at White Walkers and Whites, weren't they? I think they should have gone down that route. They can't do the fighting on horseback because the horse is just shit scared, basically.
And then the Dothraki came back.
Yeah, and then that would unsettle the Dothraki because they have their horse lords. They literally have gods that are horses. So if they're not on their horse, they're weak. They don't know what to do. And I think they should have gone down that route a bit, maybe.
I kind of wish as well. You know when they went, I wish none. I don't because I want to see Ghost. I wanted to see Mormont again. To be fair, but I kind of just wish, nope, none of them came back. That was it. Because I don't understand how any of them did get away.
I wish Mormont would have said something.
What?
I wish Jorah would have said something like it was a massacre or something like that. Really set the scene of what happened there because you don't see it.
That's
you just see all the lights going out, but you don't actually know what happened.
I was expecting to say
something,
but he just
not knowing what happened.
Trolled past him, didn't he? Like shit.
Well, I think that was the good part of it. That was a good part of it though, because it leaves you to your imagination. Like,
Yeah, I know,
But
but
if he just went like absolutely riding, like absolutely going for it, going nope.
yeah, well, that's kind of what I wanted to see. But in my eyes, he kind of like had a gentle gallop back. Like, don't worry, I've come to fight with you guys now because all my mates are dead.
Yeah,
You know, it was a bit lackluster in that
I'm
small
going
moment.
down south now. See you there.
But how quick the turnaround is as well. It makes you think: does he actually even kill one before he comes back, or does he literally just turn around and come straight back?
Yeah, because this is what I thought. I was just like, well, if they're running, because I don't think I think their line must have been stood still, and they've just
But they're
ran into
literally.
them.
But if you look at the camera angle by the time, they're quite spread out, aren't they? At one point,
Oh.
towards the end, like they go speeding off as
That
fast as they
bit was
can. Don't
brilliant. You know when John and Danny are on the rock and they're just looking down at what's going
they?
on.
Yeah.
And then they just see them crash into them. I was like, this is this looks amazing. And then they see the volley of arrows go over them. I thought that was brilliant. That was
And like
amazing.
what do you call them? The big
Yeah,
doom
yeah,
snacky things.
yeah. Fantastic.
so what happened afterwards?
Well, moving on from the Dothraki Charge, I want to know why they stopped firing the trebuchets and the catapults.
Yeah.
Like, why did they stop?
That must have been doing some serious damage, and obviously it was balls of fire. as
exactly
well.
like.
Balls of fire.
I kind of just assumed that they were getting a bit close to their own infantry.
Well, they ran out of stones.
I hope that was it.
And I feel like the
That'll be in the next season.
I feel like the trebuchets and the catapults should have been behind the infantry.
What?
I feel like the trebuchets and the catapults should have been behind the infantry, not
Yeah.
They should
Not
have been in
in
the
front.
castle.
exactly. They should have been
Was
firing
it not
out onto
they
them.
weren't actually. No,
They're outside the ship. Well, I don't know. It's not. It's not the biggest of fortments, is it? But you probably could have got two of them in there. I imagine. You know.
And then where does it cut from after the Dothraki come back? Then what happens?
We have a
You
good
get the
old
charge
fight,
of the undead, don't you?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Then
get the
he's
whites
literally
charging.
charge, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when Brienne goes, "Stand your ground," and then some of the little Vale men just do a runner.
But though, when that first dragon comes along, though, you know, because obviously there's so much pressure, isn't there? Like they're
Yeah.
absolutely pounding like all the goodies, if you like.
Yeah.
And then that dragon comes off with that thing of fire, and you're
Yeah.
like, fuck yeah.
It's a rain of fire. Yeah.
You can just see like the relief of hope in all of your favorite characters' eyes. Like, oh
Yeah.
my god, thank God for
Yeah.
this.
At least you felt like it would just warm the room I was in
fire.
when that fire was coming
Yeah.
down. It was just like,
It's like I was when that did happen. I was like, oh god, you know. And then I was just freaking out about that blue one and
Yeah.
all the blue fire that was going to start coming. I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah, I thought the Night King was going to go on the attack with his dragon. To be fair, the moment all these little dead men's were going to start biting the dust due to dragon fire, I thought it was going to be in there.
But I think he's probably the best strategist out of everyone
Yeah.
there, isn't he? Like
Yeah.
he knew better than that.
and he knew not to reveal himself. 'Cause obviously, if he gets taken out with one, like, I don't know, arrow, I suppose you could have an arrow maybe. For
yeah.
So he gets taken out, the whole game over, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in short, we're falling back. We're falling back to the castle, and then we'll light all the trenches to stop the dead. And so Davos is waving his torches, but then the ice storm has come on in, and Khaleesi flying above. The plan was she's going to light the trenches. Can't see him.
Yeah, but the
So-
ice cloud is, or whatever you call it, is
Lady Melisandre.
So before that,
Yeah.
all of those people running with the torches, and they
Yeah.
were getting taken out. That was very Helm's Deep, eh?
yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty much a reference, weren't it, to the... Is it the Berserkers?
The
Yeah, when he's
Berserker.
running to
Yeah,
try
when
and
they,
get
when they're
that-
trying to run to blow up the wall, it was
Look at
kind of a
us.
similar thing.
Take it in.
So,
aim for the neck.
Because
yeah, I think they took a lot of inspiration from Helm's Deep.
it's such a good.
But yeah, it's
Yeah,
one of the best.
It's a good piece of work to base your TV show off,
and
really, isn't it?
In my opinion, Helm's Deep was better than this because it's kind of like human-esque. You know, it's not an unstoppable force. If you get what I'm saying, it's like
Yeah,
it's
'cause
a
let's be
proper
honest,
battle.
Yeah, because if the Night King doesn't get killed, the dead are winning all day, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not really even a contest.
Yeah.
Even with like the Dothraki and the Unsullied, and let's be honest, if it was an army made of men, then you'd probably stand a pretty good chance, wouldn't you? Especially
Yeah.
with the Dothraki. But
I think I'm overly intrigued. I don't mean to skip ahead. I'm overly intrigued about what the Night King was going to do with Bran, or what was the.
Hold on, that is
Yeah.
skipping ahead.
You know, I don't
Save that.
Whoa!
Whoa, easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but lucky, as you were saying, we've got Melisandre there to do the deed.
To slowly, extremely slowly, walk out. There is no rush. Just 100,000 dead zombies trying to kill us all.
I'll just fucking come on, girl.
I know she's old, man, but like she could have
Maybe
made
she-
it look like she was
that,
hurrying.
that necklace is
She's
helping her out.
lighting it.
Yeah, like
Maybe she needs to get like pumped up, you know, like a little bit of a walk, like oh yeah, you know how a wrestler walks down to the arena, basically that.
Yeah, but to be fair, but when she's walking down though, and she's walking down to there's a
Highway
few
to hell playing.
stakes and stuff come out of the ground, isn't it? And obviously they're getting really close. I had like the vision of one of them just like clawing her face. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like trying to
yeah.
reach
Oh,
over.
it
It's
would
just
have
like-
taken, yeah. I don't know. And so she lights the pit eventually.
Yeah, she managed to do it. Which was a good point. It was it helped.
It's kind
then-
of. And then they just
Yeah.
stopped. They went, well, we're not going to.
But
But
not gonna
point.
kill
Yeah, that was
ourselves.
eerie though, isn't it? You know when they're all just
Oh.
looking through, just looking at her
Yeah.
like, I'm
and then
gonna fuck you
the
up.
bit that freaked me out after that is that they just started sacrificing themselves to basically
Yeah.
build a bridge over it.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a lot of intelligence for them, really, isn't it? Given
Well,
Yeah.
it's all the Night King though, isn't it?
Yeah,
He's
it's-
literally
it's
there
about
looking
control.
down, going, "Come on, guys, build a bridge. We've got plenty more."
And by the way, the only thing that there's a couple of things that annoyed. When I say annoyed me, it was still a great episode. But like as well, you know, like the Night King's like little like gang he's got going on. Like there's about 7 or 8 of them, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
never see any of them do anything. I
No,
kind of
you
wanted to see
don't.
one of them get into a battle with like Jon Snow or something.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see like some of the main characters maybe get killed or defeat
yeah.
some of his bodyguards,
Yeah.
basically.
You've
Because
got to presume that they're of a better standard than the rest of them, don't
yeah,
you? But you
Yeah,
don't get
but
to see that.
I think they're also. I think you're right, but I think they're also kind of like the Night King's posse, isn't that? They're
yeah.
I think the point is of this: he needs protecting, and
I suppose,
I don't disagree with you. I agree with you really. 'Cause
When
I
they
would have
walked-
liked to see them do more, but you know,
When they walked into Winterfell, like they were in perfect formation.
Yeah, they
they were like NSYNC.
yeah, or geese going overhead.
V formation.
What I said was cooler. So
Fucking good formation, a geese formation, though, isn't
So
it?
yeah, body bridges didn't work out too well for them in the end.
no,
Like, I mean, in terms of the our human,
I'll work up to our
felt,
front.
yeah, didn't yeah. So
I mean, meanwhile,
they
we're
weren't
having-
they weren't expecting that.
No, I think while they were expecting them to just blindly run at the fire and go, "Oh shit, I'm on fire now."
I think that's the thing about an unknown enemy. How do you know how?
Yeah.
How do you have a battle plan against something you don't know what it's going to do?
You don't know how they fight. Like the only thing they've fought against is like a couple where you can just like outnumber them or
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But so
It's hard though, isn't it? Because obviously, even you imagine that fire's going to go out at some point, and they're just waiting there because obviously they don't get tired. That's the
Yeah.
scary thing about it, though, isn't it? Like they'll just wait
Yeah.
there. They don't need to sleep. They don't need to eat, and like all the guys in the castle is going to be getting tired and
Yeah.
hungry and.
And you know when they start like so I guess the next thing they're coming up the walls, aren't they?
Yeah.
Everyone's retreated safely.
Now that is like that zombie film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know when they're pushing
Yeah,
each other
yeah.
up the wall?
World War II.
That is
Yeah.
like that.
I
Yeah.
just want to give a quick respect to the Unsullied for like sealing off everyone else's retreat.
Sacrificing themselves.
Basically, just knowing they were going to die, but like sticking it out.
They were meant to be the bravest soldiers on the
Yeah.
battlefield, and in the face of certain death, they're still perfectly spaced apart. They're perfectly informed.
Yeah.
Like
They're
geese.
doing
You can
bloody geese.
That's going to keep coming back now.
you can literally see like the disbelief of Grey Worm having to do that and sacrifice his own men.
I
which
couldn't remember
thought
his
was quite
name.
strong.
You've saved me.
That was hard. That was, man.
Yeah,
That
it was a
hard
bit
thing to
like-
watch.
I
Emotional.
really like him though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Grey
he's
Worm
fantastic.
character. He's a great character. I'll be really
Yeah.
upset if he dies. He's like becoming one of my favourite characters. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's just something about him. He's obviously loyal, but he's just obviously insanely brave. But when he makes that call, doesn't he, to kind of shut the others out, and he knew they weren't going to get back in. But
Yeah.
Do you know he
That
has
was
to
sad.
get his hair done? Like I was watching him
What,
behind
like
the scenes.
shaved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Like I was watching and he's there getting his hair done. It's like, what? It's a number one. He could have done that at home.
Yeah.
He could have done that on the train on the way up. Like, so they're over the walls. They're creepy as fuck, and everyone's fighting them. And who's died at this point? Ed has died and sacrificed himself for Sam.
He didn't really sacrifice himself. I don't think Sam was expecting that one, was he?
He got.
But then he got
got
stabbed
in
through
the
back
back,
of the
didn't he?
head, didn't he?
Who?
But then Sam just runs off, doesn't he? Like, for God's sake, Sam.
Yeah, but then
Just sprints
he's
for it,
meant to be.
doesn't
I suppose he is the coward, isn't he?
Oh yeah, that was the only other point. I mean,
Why are they always
like
called Sam?
The what? Sorry,
Why are they always called Sam? Sam
Oh.
Gamgee, wasn't it?
Sam Gamgee,
Yeah.
Sam Tarley.
Yeah, Sam Tarley.
I just want to say something about Sam. Actually, like, I swear, apart from when he was outside the walls, I swear in every shot he was lying on the floor, just kind of screaming like a little baby.
He was.
Yeah.
Getting
Except
beat up.
Except he had 2 dragon glass daggers in his hands, and he was kind of swinging wildly and with his eyes closed, like stabbing people to the side of him on the floor.
Yeah, there was a bit
It
where
was a bit weird, to be honest.
there was a bit where John literally was running, and then he
Oh,
looked,
yeah, he
looked
turns
at, he looked
round,
at him,
yeah.
and he was like, ah, and he was like,
I cannot help
can't-
this.
I cannot
I cannot
help him
help
at the
you.
moment. I need to carry on.
He was just like, I think that was the point there where he knew the Night King was going for Bran, so
Yeah.
he was going straight to there. But at the same time, though, it's like Sam was covered in them, and you're thinking, did you really get yourself out of that? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's true.
I expected to be more death, to be honest.
Yeah, I wasn't very impressed. Obviously, once they retreated back into the walls, and a lot of people had died.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not going to skip
Not
ahead
big
yet.
characters,
I'm not
though.
going to skip ahead yet. I want to talk about the giant
Oh,
when
yeah.
he like very similar to Battle of the
That was good.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Just like burst in, like these doors ain't doing nothing, mate.
That wasn't 1-1 though. I don't think
no,
was
it
it? But
wasn't.
it was a giant. Yeah.
Wrong eye.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. It was a one-eyed giant, but wrong eye, I think.
And like Lyanna Mormont,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
so sick.
Big up.
Yeah.
Bit
Big
like
up.
that. Yeah.
Respect to that little scream.
Yeah.
Mate, I was sad when she got wiped. Well, she got wiped out, but what a way to end it.
I know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love how she came back as well.
yeah. Yeah, she looked wicked when her eyes lit back up. That was pretty cool, actually, that was.
Yeah.
The one thing that kind of annoyed me was all of those people that came back that were like lovable characters, and then they didn't do anything as whites.
Yeah, you're right. I wanted to see
Like,
them
to
like
kill it-
shit.
to kill
Like
another
I'm
main
now
character or
fighting like Mormont versus. But I you
Yeah.
know what? I think there possibly would have been that kind of stuff in the books. But that episode was like 82 minutes long. They managed to fit it all in. Or something.
I think this is their problem. I think they
Like-
tried to fit too much into one episode.
They couldn't. We couldn't have had that. I don't think without taking some major points away. That I don't think they could have taken anything out of that episode. The only bit what I thought they could have taken out, which I was just like, did we need this? Was Aya like running around that room for a bit?
No, but there was a.
I think there was an importance to it though.
Yeah.
I didn't see any
Because
importance.
it was
in that
demonstrating-
personally.
Is that when
how
they're like
skillful
creeping
she is?
around and she's trying to creep between them?
Yeah, like we all know how
So
skillful she
it-
is. She's
no,
seen
no,
it
but
all.
it's-
We've all seen how. Sorry, go on.
So it's the battle is shot in 3 phases.
Yeah,
The first part is action.
yeah,
The second part is horror. The Arya bit and Barrack Dondarrion
yeah,
He gets killed.
and the Hound and everything.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is horror.
yeah,
The final section is thriller.
yeah.
Basically, and it's
Yeah.
and it's meant to be shot in that bit, but the whole thing is to show that.
I suppose they needed the whole point. Actually, is a good point because he needed to die because the whole point of him coming back the 8 times that
Yeah.
he died to save Aya. Basically, that was the whole point of him to.
Like the long picture type thing.
Yeah, like
Does,
that's
yeah.
why he
and
kept
that's-
bringing him back.
Yeah, and obviously that's why the red lady, keep forgetting her name.
Yeah,
That's why
Lysandra.
when she tells Aya about
Yeah.
the eyes, the green
Yeah,
eyes, brown
and that was
eyes,
like
blue eyes. And that
4
that's the
5
perfect
seasons ago.
timing. Yeah.
yeah. And obviously none of that clicked at the time.
But it was partially to show off like we've seen her for so long as like this super duper assassin, and like you kind of see like she's fucked in terms of head injuries,
Yeah.
like possible brain damage, who knows?
Yeah.
But like it's the whole thing. It's meant to show that like she is still only human after all that. Like
Yeah, and she's still essentially like young. 'Cause
Yeah.
She's meant to be like 15.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I think that was a really good scene. So when they were filming it, they basically set out. There was like 8 whites in there or whatever. There's like they all had paths, and when they started filming, they basically said to Maisie Williams, find your way out of here.
Oh, fantastic!
How
Yeah,
cool is
yeah.
that?
That's almost like
Yeah.
playing like a Resident Evil game or something, and understanding like the
trying
paths
to
that,
find the pattern to get
Yeah,
past.
yeah. That's almost like
And
playing a
they're
game
so
in real
into
life.
the,
That's
they've played the
amazing.
characters for 10 years.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they
yeah.
do it in that style. But the guy, when she rolls under the table,
Yeah,
and there's that one guy that's
Yeah.
going around. It's a Spanish stunt actor that
Okay.
someone found that they got in to play that person. He's like triple jointed, and like his whole thing is doing all these crazy body moves.
That is wicked.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I
I think
Cool.
I think the whole of that scene was basically to highlight how silent that she can be, though. The fact that the dripping of her blood onto the floor from like
Really?
2 foot was literally the only thing you heard her do that whole sequence.
Yeah.
And like to say that is the loudest thing that she's done is
Yeah.
a bit like, whoa, okay.
But
No.
it's quite mad though, isn't it? Because like 2 minutes before, it's like she's outside going
Yeah.
nuts, and what do
Yeah.
you call it's on the thing, just watching her, isn't he? Going what?
Yeah.
The Geordie guy.
Yeah,
And then obviously
yeah.
My favourite character, the Geordie guy.
Oh, we.
whip it.
Well, actually, I'd like to give a bigger respect to the Hound, actually, because like he was fucking scared, and the moment he
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
her in danger, he was like, "Nah, mate, let's fucking have some."
That was an R moment.
Yeah.
That's out of
was
order.
great.
It just showed that like the arc is still there from when he tried to protect her because he didn't know who Brienne was.
Yeah.
I loved all that. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, mate, we can do a whole episode about that whole thing with the Hound and Brienne.
Yeah.
But I mean, so that was really cool. It's I've got Beric Dondarrion. I was going to say
Yeah.
Derek.
That was
I'll happily call him Derek. Let's go.
yeah,
Derek Dondarrion.
great chat.
Yeah,
Derek,
I thought it was
Derek
really cool.
Dandelion.
Derek Dandelion. What a lovely way to finish that character off, man. I've got a question. So I've got a couple of questions relating to what characters did. They have that whole thing. Derek Dandelion has died now. And the Hound and the Red Witch and Arya are there. And the Red Witch gives that information to Arya. And Arya's like, right, gotta go, guys. See you in a bit. What do the Hound and the Red Witch do?
Get it on. No, I don't know.
I don't know. Possibly. I mean,
Well, I
When
don't
they
think
leave
I
that
don't.
one room.
they're in that one room. Yeah. I mean,
Well,
Arya-
she just walks out at the end, doesn't she? And just
Yeah, well, that's it.
collapses
They definitely
at the
survived.
end.
Yeah.
See, that was her sole mission, though, wasn't it? To
Oh,
guide
the Hound's a
Arya.
big bloke, and he can sort himself out.
But what did
They never. They never actually. You don't know if they might have never actually got through the door. Maybe just had chilled out, put the fire on.
That's what I'm saying. Did they just chill?
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been long after that because literally Arya sprints out to literally go kill Night King straight
that was
away.
it, yeah. Just
But
the,
also,
just the biggest
does it
leap on
not-
the planet.
I mean, obviously, we know she's really skilled at like getting in and around people. But like between that room where she's gone and going to the Wirewood Tree, whatever it's called,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you'd think she's going to encounter a lot of people because there's a lot of rumours going around saying that she might have done the face change thing.
Yeah.
To, like,
To be a White Walker
yeah,
and then
to get
like,
to
crawl
there.
in.
Because you think about it, as quiet as she is, how the hell is she going to get past all
Yeah.
them? I imagine that.
I guess that's
like
such an unknown thing, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
you
It
ne-
won't
you
be
never
explained
get
to
that.
us.
I mean,
Guaranteed,
some
yeah.
things you don't want to buy into too much because it's almost like, you know, when people are trying to be picky for the sake of being picky, but it does make you think. Do you know
I
what
think
mean?
everyone's talking about this, where she's come from.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about that.
I mean, even like the thing is like with Game of Thrones, nothing is explained. Like, how long did it take Jon to tell Daenerys, like, oh, by the way, we are related? So they're probably not going to. Like,
They
Hey, he was
ignored
he was having a nice time.
They ignored all of that, didn't they?
oh,
That episode.
in
Which
fairness,
is fair
they did
enough.
have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
They
No.
did.
You
And
can't
it's fair
argue
enough.
about it if you're dead.
It's
So-
fair enough.
So I want to mention something quickly, and then I want to mention something about a scene with Dany and Jon that I thought was going to happen, but it
Okay.
didn't. I want to talk about in the courtyard of Winterfell, when
Yeah.
all of those heroes that survived.
Yeah.
To me, it was basically impossible.
Yeah.
Like there was like Brienne, Jaime, and Podrick standing there, like fending off
Yeah.
like 100,
yeah.
200 whites just by
Yeah.
like swinging the sword above their head. What it felt like, and it was a bit like,
Yeah, there's no way Sam Tyler's
nah,
surviving that.
I'm sorry. Like maybe they should have barricaded themselves in a room and made like a tunnel where they could take on like a couple
Like
of
in
whites at a
Hound's
time,
Deep.
or like in basically the tactics of 300.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like something like that,
Yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
they can actually like stick it out as a group
Yeah.
and fight them off.
think you're
But
probably
it
right.
was a bit weird that they were just all kind of standing there swinging their swords.
Random places.
Yeah,
But
it was just a
but
bit
if
strange.
you look at it, I think other than Sam, they all had like justifiable places to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's Brienne, Pod, and Jaime were against a wall.
Yeah,
in
Yeah,
like
at least you're getting pushed up against
so
the wall.
they
weren't
could have just swung away, and Gendry and Tormund were just on the top of a pile of bodies going. "Wee!"
literally.
But that's what I mean. It felt like they were literally going, wee!
So Sam should have
It
died.
didn't feel
Come on,
like they
man.
were like under pressure.
Yeah. I
22.
I still only count as one. Fuck you, lady moment. Still only counts as one.
Which takes down the giant.
that would have been brilliant. Like a crushed baby girl, just like this killed a giant, and for some prick to come out and it's like, only one though, isn't it? Or Sam to come out. I've done a few now.
Okay, but going on to the thing that I'm on about with Jon and Daenerys.
Yes.
So obviously, when the Night King raises the dead, and then Jon's like sprinting towards
Brilliant.
him,
I love that scene.
and he
to be fair.
realizes like I'm not going to get there,
Yeah.
and you feel like it's fucked.
Yeah.
And then Daenerys comes on a dragon and is like, "Don't worry, bro, I'll save you."
Yeah.
In that moment, I kind of thought that she was gonna burn him, like dragon fire straight onto it, kind of a bit like, "Well, I'm gonna take the throne now."
Did you think that was going to happen?
I thought, but wait, and then I
Yeah.
thought that because Jon is a Targaryen, I thought he was going to survive it, and he was
Oh,
just going to stand
okay.
there like,
Can I just
told
say?
ya.
Can I just?
I like that.
you know, that
Oh
in
no,
my
no,
head.
no,
that's what was gonna happen.
guys!
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I do apologise. I don't mean to trump on it, but unfortunately,
You've trumped on it.
I'm going to trump on it. So,
Come on, shit
I-
all over everything.
so that is a lovely thing to think, but unfortunately, in the second season or third season, when he's on the wall and the first time he encounters a White Walker back at the wall, he picks up that fire and burns his hand and he
Yeah, I know.
throws it in.
I know that it
Oh,
was
right,
never
okay.
going to happen, but it would have just been like,
Right, but,
Yeah,
but here
you
you
know.
go. Here's what I thought. So now he is of ice and fire, right? So which fire do you think he may have been immune to? The ice fire? Because I thought maybe that would have been the one that he could have been immune to because it's fire, it's ice. He's half Stark. He's half
Might be,
Targaryen.
yeah.
That's what I was like. Oh, maybe it's that because you know when he stood up and went which is another story altogether. But
I was gonna say.
which is another story altogether. I thought, oh, maybe it's just gonna the blue flame's not gonna actually affect him.
Or neither of them.
see,
Yeah,
I've got some like some very, very basic science theory about why Dead Dragon has blue flame and Live Dragon has red flame.
I like it.
Dead things decompose.
Uh-huh.
Methane burns blue.
There you go.
Live, yeah, that was kind of my thinking. So in my
Ladies
head,
and gentlemen, that is the first thing you've learned from these podcasts.
so in my head, like it's not an ice flame. It's,
Yeah, I'm
it's
with
still like red hot.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
There's the body of Viserion, because you know, I mean, I thought it was such a cool detail that like the flames were coming out the side of his face. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
that was
like,
cool.
He's already been
Yeah.
damaged and when he died. With that, they built a bronze cast of the head.
Oh, really?
And then-
Bronze.
yeah, bronze. was it?
Jesus.
Something else.
Sounds expensive.
Yeah, 50 million an episode.
Yeah.
We've got money left over, guys. We were going to make that thing out of
it,
paper
bronze.
mache. Let's just do it out of bronze.
Bronze, mate.
We've got a mil left.
And they use this let's say metal in case I'm wrong. Metal,
Okay, yeah.
metal,
Some kind of aluminium. Aluminum. Aluminum.
some kind of hard thing, and
Yeah.
they were firing like flames out of it
That's wicked.
to do the flame capture. But the flames are
That's cool.
normal flames. They
Oh.
do the blueness in post production.
So the one thing that we have missed is dragon fight.
Ah,
Like we haven't even talked about it.
so good. Like when they're going up above the clouds.
Oh, that
Yeah.
moonlight shit.
I
Jesus
thought that was the
Christ.
most-
I thought that
Like
gorgeous.
Yeah,
It was like a breath, wasn't it?
I want
Oh,
that as a computer
Yeah.
background. You know, like I want it as a
moonlight and
desktop
the
background.
dragons
Yeah,
and-
it was
yeah.
fantastic.
I thought I was watching that the third.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah. That's what I thought I was watching.
yeah.
I was
Great
like,
film.
great
Highly
film.
recommend.
Yeah, highly.
Isn't
recommend.
Kit Harington in that?
I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
Like-
Yeah.
Is he actually?
Yeah. He plays.
To be fair,
in
he's
the
probably
third
still
one. He
learning.
plays one people in it, Yeah. Great films though. They are.
Yeah.
Surprisingly
The
fantastic
series
films.
is good as well.
Yeah.
I went to
But the kids' TV show.
yeah.
No,
No, I mean, sort of heard. Yeah.
I'm going to stop you now. We can discuss that next week.
But
Just make a quick
dragons
note of
fighting.
But yeah, the dragon fight, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You just didn't know what was going to happen, did you? I couldn't, to be fair, when... I can't remember which dragon's which now, if I'm honest.
No.
Viserions, the dead one.
And Aegon...
It's
Rhaegar's
Ray-
alive.
is-
Yeah.
Rhaegar's
Rhaegar.
alive
Is it
one.
Rhaegar? Okay.
Yeah.
So John was riding Rhaegar, and I couldn't tell if it was a Viserion or Rhaegar that got the humongous chunk taken out of his
Yeah.
chest to begin with.
Yeah. That bit to me, I couldn't actually make sense
Yeah.
of exactly
Yeah.
what was
I
going
was-
on.
it was just so
other than
fast, I
they're
was
both
like,
gonna be
Jesus
like
Christ.
pretty battered.
Did you see John's cloak get taken off him by the dragon?
No.
So
Yeah.
so midway the dragon literally bit his cloak
I
and
just pulled it off.
ripped it off him. I was like, that was close.
But it's the amount of damage they've done to each other makes you think though, if Cersei's coming thick and fast, like those dragons are going to need some time to
I
recover.
don't think she's actually got much of a leg to stand on. I
Do you
like.
think the Gold Company?
Yeah, okay.
Well, hold on. Should we finish off the battle and
Yeah,
then come
then
to
let
this?
go. Yeah,
because
let's-
this is
It's in prediction land.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll do some predictions. So, do you want to do? Should we hop to the end? We're almost there.
Can I just say though, I did agree what Ryan was saying. I did have a bit of a feeling that Daenerys might do something with Jon Snow because she's found out and she could kind of blag it as an excuse or she didn't mean
Yeah.
to. And obviously, 'cause
Collateral,
he's a
yeah.
threat. He's a threat to her now. That's why I was thinking. I didn't think anything would actually happen, but I had like a. If it did happen, it wouldn't have been a
wasn't
massive
left
shock.
very-
Problem is, you know,
peacefully
like at the end
before.
of the second episode where he's told her, and they go up to the armaments and the wall, and she gives him a nod. We still don't know what that nod really means. Whether that's like, "I'll take your word, Jon Snow, because you're an honest bastard," or whether it was like, "Let's just fucking get this done so we can work this out."
I did really like what she said about like I've only there's only two people that have like been so honest to me in my life, and then it was like one was very tall or something of that nature. Or I thought that was
I know what-
fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
he
a
was
little
taller than you.
Yeah, he was tall. Yeah.
You know what the funny? I
was
saw
nice.
something about you know, it was the whole thing. It was like, so your best friend and your weird brother told you this. And it's like, yeah, and then it's like, oh, you killed the Night King. Oh, right, and your weird brother is there to confirm this. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's great, yeah, and a bunch of dead people.
Oh god, yeah, she's such a twisted little.
So,
I want to quickly go back to the epic dragon battle because
go
I don't think we quite finished
Wait,
there.
Game of Thrones or this TV kid series?
How to
Not,
Train- How to
not,
Train Your
yeah.
Dragon.
Let's carry on with Game of Thrones.
I think so.
I kind of like the way that John got in trouble, and it was a bit like, Night King's got his spear out,
Yeah.
and then like Daenerys swoops in and kind of knocks the
Oh,
Night King
yeah.
off, and you can literally see him just kind of like falling out of the sky, like I don't give a fuck,
Yeah, he's just like.
Yeah.
See ya.
like fuck you, can't believe you knocked me off my dragon, dickhead.
Why couldn't they burn? Like, he got seriously singed theoretically.
Yeah, I know.
Why couldn't they burn him?
Just that smirk,
The Night
the
King.
smirk.
I
But
think
isn't
he
it-
has to be stabbed with something.
There was
Why
there was
though?
there was
That's
two
just
things.
like-
First of all,
maybe
I think
right.
it's probably because he's the first one, like because he's magical essentially. He
Oh,
is the source of the magic.
Yeah, exactly. First of all, that one argument was saying that the magic was just too strong, therefore fire couldn't burn him. And the other one I heard was that they reckon he could have been a Targaryen descendant or something. That was the other one.
And the other thing I've heard is that the Children of the Forest created him with a blade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
So
Can
that's-
you
yeah.
not- can you not-
They
can you not
created him
remember
with
it?
dragon glass.
Yeah.
They went
Yeah,
to
when
that
he's-
person,
yeah.
they stab the person into the heart, and they leave the dragon glass in him, and then it
That
turns
magical
and
ability.
it goes that spreads around him. It was in season 6, was it?
Yeah,
or
but
something like that?
let's go. So I read another theory that because Arya stabbed him basically in the same place that the
Yeah.
dragon glass went in,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that was kind of crucial. But obviously, it's kind of a minor
I think
detail.
it
You don't
is,
know whether
yeah.
it's
I think
true.
it is.
But yeah, I think that kind of explains it. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to acknowledge the Night King's kind of like I don't give a fuck look.
That was good.
It
wasn't
was, wasn't it? Yeah, he was just like, woo.
Toasty.
Yeah.
So, Theon and his crew and his boys all firing away. They did a diligent job. We're all happy with how Theon died. Do we miss and love Theon? No.
Reek.
What a character arc.
Fantastic.
Shit the bed.
I think he's actually quite underrated as a character as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think all people like really.
I always wanted to see more of him.
Yeah.
But I think he's
I think he's actually just a really good actor as well. But that's another conversation.
But he did start to piss me off when he was Reek.
Yeah.
I was just like, I want old Theon back at some time. Do you know what I mean?
But you got him back, but only for a little snippet at the end.
I like that cocky old Theon. Do you know what I mean?
But that's how they,
cocky.
Good choice of words.
I like, I like cocky old Theon, but now he's just turned. And then when he, he lost his manhood and so on, and he lost a lot of confidence.
Yeah,
with
mate,
that.
you wouldn't be very cocky after that.
No,
really.
you wouldn't be. You wouldn't.
Probably wasn't even getting his knob cut off. It was probably the months of torture. Like,
Yeah,
it was,
none of it helps though. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Let's be honest.
Wouldn't know.
Yeah, none of it helps. but
He ended up being a good guy, but like what?
I never actually thought, oh fucking hell, Theon, why are you doing this? I always just thought, he's been led astray here.
Yeah.
I always just thought his mind's elsewhere. He's thinking
He'll come around.
He'll come around. He's not a bad guy.
He was easy to manipulate.
He was, yeah.
He had a
very
very
much
weak
so.
mind. So I have a theory actually about Theon
Yeah.
and his death. So obviously Bran was like eyes rolled back, walking it around, and then he literally came back like 30 seconds before Theon bit the dust. So obviously he walked into his crow buddies for some reason. He wanted to watch what was going on or whatever. So I have a theory that he saw through his crow buddies that Arya was coming, and he was like, "Shit, I need to distract the Night King."
Right. Okay.
So that's when he came back and basically goaded Theon into doing something a bit stupid.
Yeah.
Try and hold him up.
Yeah, to be like,
That's why I said you were
go
good
on,
man.
have him,
Theon, he knew what he
have
was
him
gonna
and
do.
distract
Yeah,
him.
but I mean, surely he'd have done something anyway, though. I mean, I don't think he'd have needed because
Yeah.
the Night King was coming either way. Do you know?
I
do
don't
you
know.
what I mean?
It's just a
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
a sense of kind of like putting the Night King in a place of confidence because he's like easily
Yeah.
dispatched his one last protector.
Yeah,
He G'd him up basically. It's like you're gonna die. Like if you charge now, you're gonna die a good man. Like he's got that reaffirmation from
Very much so.
Bran.
that's all.
The whole
that's
thing
all
with
he needed.
Bran watching, I kind of pissed me off. Like that he just watched the whole fight, but then
He can't do anything, though, can he?
no. And also,
Anything
like,
substantial, anyway.
if he's the three-eyed raven, the next person that is the three-eyed raven say something like this happens again. The best thing that you could pass on to the next three-eyed raven is visions of what happened during the fight and how
Yeah,
he
exactly.
was defeated. So it kind of makes sense, but it's
I would have liked to have seen him do something of the nature like taking warging into a one of the wolves or something like that into Jon's wolf and going into battle with him or doing something helpful,
Having a bit of fun with it.
doing something.
So one of my favorite memes, I sent it to Miles. Was it this morning or yesterday?
depends which one.
It was essentially it was a theory of how Bran helped during the battle, and he used his crows to pick up Arya and fly her in to the Night King to kill the Night King.
It's like a flock of geese. With
A flock of geese. They're coming in. Drop her now.
The reason I didn't send it to you because I wasn't
Perfect
sure when
formation.
you'd watched it,
Right,
so I
yeah,
didn't want to ruin anything for you.
I honestly,
Yeah.
from what you said the other day, I didn't know if you were going on strike because you
What do you
said
mean?
I haven't watched it and I can't, and I was like, I know what you're like. I was like, you're going to be controversial and you're going to not watch it.
No, I couldn't have done that. No, it was so I couldn't. The Monday, which was when I was going to watch it.
Yeah.
I got back and I had a driving lesson straight away.
Right, okay.
And I got back and then I had dinner and they're like, "Should we go to the pub?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's go to the pub for a drink." And I was just thinking about Game of Thrones the entire time. And then
Yeah.
I got back and we got back at like 10:30, and then my girlfriend's dad was watching TV downstairs, and that's where Sky is, and I was like, right, I can't be bothered to go in and be like, go on, move, because he doesn't watch it. So I was like, yeah.
See, I watched this with my dad.
So at least you knew there were going to be no awkward sex scenes in these ones.
Well, he's not seen a single episode of Game of Thrones. He's seen the first one, but he wasn't paying too much attention to it. So like I said to him, like, fair play. If you're gonna watch one, you watch the big one.
Yeah.
And it's like
So word up quickly. This wasn't the big one.
damn.
That terrifies me.
Yeah.
That terrifies me.
Emilia
Crazy.
Clarke has been on a TV chat show, and she basically just said, "Episode 5 is the big one. Find the biggest screen you can possibly find."
So do you reckon?
iPad Mini.
Hey.
Do you reckon that episode 6 will be like a calming down, just showing what everything happens after?
I think so. Yeah.
Or do you think it'll end on a proper cliffhanger, so you have to make up your mind on what happens next?
All right.
They need to.
Should we go into the predictions? Let's.
Yeah.
No,
what's happening next?
Have we got everything out of the Arya
Well,
scene?
I just want to say
and
that
stabbing.
I correctly predicted Jorah's death
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the last
Yeah.
podcast.
you did.
I said that he was going to die and Dany was going to be in direct line of sight.
Yeah.
I was just a little bit disappointed, like you were saying earlier, saying about there wasn't more death. Like, obviously, I don't want all the good characters to die.
No, neither do I.
But at the start, I've got to admit, like when you were doing your predictions, and I was listening on the last episode, I was doing my own in my head. I was thinking, yeah, obviously they're saying that certain characters might get killed off, but at the end of the day, like we just said, the biggest battles are to come. So they're not going to go kill off Dany or
Yeah.
Jon now. Like they're just not going to do it. Because it's just,
No, it's true.
do you know what I mean? They're going to save it for the next one.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see, I guess. But I just wanted to throw out the fact that correct prediction.
No, well
Loving
done,
it.
buddy. No, that's fair play.
Make some more predictions now. Then come on.
Yeah.
I'm worried I'm going to ruin it for you all now. I am the three-eyed raven. Give me my wheelchair.
Do you want one of these Cornish lagers, Josh? Or?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Cheers, man.
Am I allowed to drink this out the can?
No.
Fuck it.
Have you got one?
Yeah, I got
Oh,
one.
sweet.
Yeah. You can drink it out of the can, Josh. That's fine. You don't have to put it in the Tupperware, George. You can have it. There's a cardboard box here.
Cheers, buddy.
Or if you can pour it all back into that bottle, you can have it out of the
After he
bottle.
poured it in.
It might
you'd
have
have
been
to do
easier
that.
actually to pour it out of this.
It would have been fun if we'd have said you could only drink it out of your hands.
Well,
You had to dispense it.
that would be horrible. I'd have some sticky fingers right now. Talk about sticky fingers. I don't know where that was going.
We'll do that after the podcast is finished.
So
Okay, I think we're all done for season 8, episode 3.
Make
I
some
think so.
predictions.
let's make some predictions. Let's should we rattle through them, and we've got a quiz.
I kind of want to mention something before the predictions,
Please
Yeah.
and it's a proper an annoyance. I think you guys know what's coming because I was so pissed off I had to tell you straight away.
Yeah, spoilers.
So, Google spoiled Game of Thrones for me.
Did it?
Google sent a push notification through to my phone, so I couldn't avoid it. It was like a Google News story saying Sophie Turner reacts to Arya Stark killing the Night King. All in one line. Didn't even get a chance to avoid it. Just downright spoiled it like 2 hours before I watched it.
Sophie Turner annoyed me with that because she posted
thing.
going on with the American time.
Yeah.
So she posted early hours of
Yeah, no.
like her going like "you go girl" type thing about Arya, and it was just like really.
You just can't avoid it because it's in the
Yeah.
bloody papers. You turn your
But
internet
it's
off, you
annoying
can't
that-
do it.
It's annoying that even the English actors. I know she lives in America with a boyfriend and that, but still, it's annoying that she's going off Americans. Like you'd think she'd try and respect because she can have so
Yeah.
many English
I
followers.
think there should be like a 48-hour window where it's
know,
like
there's
no one
Stark
talks
dudes
about
everywhere.
this.
We are in like the last few weeks have been fucking crazy for spoilers because if it's not Game of Thrones spoilers,
Avengers
it's
Endgame.
Endgame spoilers.
Yeah.
And
This,
it's like,
this is why I went to the cinema at midnight. No
I
one
know-
can spoil
I
it
know,
for me.
and it's like we literally can't like.
I
And,
haven't watched it yet.
yeah, and I'm not bothered about the Avengers, so I just googled to see what
Don't
happens.
I still haven't watched it.
I just did that to annoy you and Jack,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I know.
I can't believe the Hulk kills Thor.
Oh, shut up.
I can't believe Batman dies.
I thought that was really funny when I saw that. Can't believe Batman dies.
it's crazy. It's spoiler culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite.
Yeah, but it's like that guy. Did you see what he did after the Avengers Endgame? A guy comes out the cinema when everyone's queuing to go in, and he shouts out what happens, and everyone beats the crap out of him. But I fully endorse that. That is class. If someone did that to me, you'd be
fuming.
You just
Exactly.
paid like 15 quid for an ice blast. You just paid for all your kids, and it's just like it's like 50, 60 quid, and some guy.
I guess
comes
the
out
thing
and
is,
blurts out what's
there's not
happening.
really it's bad etiquette.
Yeah,
It's-
well,
there's no-
that's a bit of an understatement.
That's
really.
damn right.
There's-
Fucking.
There's
my
no
God.
excuse for it though. Like, why would you
guy's
want to
just a
ruin
knob.
something for someone
Yeah.
else unless
Prison
you're literally a
sentence.
dick?
He just gets pleasure out of it.
I think it's the same as Google. You've only got one opportunity to watch Game of Thrones as like a virgin view.
Yeah.
And I mean, I fucked it up like in season 7 when I was watching with Pagan, and we
You
we
watched episode like 6 before episode 5 or something.
Yeah, no, it was the I
What?
watched the last episode before the penultimate episode. So
How?
you know, like they're all talking about going beyond the wall and getting the white, right? And then there's the Battle of the Golden Road, is it? You know, where they've only got 2 dragons.
Yeah.
That hold on, I'm getting confused. with
That's
the timeline.
stretching my memory.
Okay, season 7, right? I think there's 7 episodes, and we were watching through the Blu-rays, and I got to the last disc, and I just assumed it was 6.
Are these my ones, or is it the ones you bought?
No, I
bought
didn't.
some
I
since?
couldn't get 7 off you because that would involve me.
Right, okay. Saying
telling
this
you
or
that I'd watched it. Yeah,
fair enough.
That's a story for another time. But yeah, so we watched the last episode, and Pagan was like, "Why is a dragon dead?" I was like, you mong, Bronn shot it. It was obvious." And she was like, "That doesn't make sense." And I was just playing the big man.
Yeah. Of course.
And then we realised, and then we went
Billy
back
Big
and
Bollocks.
watched, and it was like, oh yeah, the dragon died in a completely different place. I was like, we're just being a fucking twat.
Fucking hell.
But then I think we're in the elite group of people that had that experience. You know, so,
But Google, come on. Like,
That
I
is
don't
bad.
mean
That
to be
is
I don't
pretty
mean
bad.
to be funny. Like, you can wake me up at 6:30 and you can tell me my route to work before I've even decided I'm going to work. You know where I live. You know what time it comes on my TV. Why? Just why?
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense actually. It's,
for a show that you have to, if you want to watch it on Sunday night, you have to watch it at 2, I think.
Exactly.
2
2 in the
a.m.
morning. So you're going to be up till, what, 20 past 3? You want to watch it?
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's-
And also the thing is, I don't see why. I think it's just like not a very nice thing to do. I mean, like the story of Sophie Turner reacting to that. All she's going
And
to do, like all she was doing, is on Instagram going, "Oh, it's that bitch."
I saw
like,
Theon
no one-
put up his up his armor saying, "I've had a fantastic time playing this character." So well, that's not fucking obvious.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, like the thing with Sophie
hell.
Turner, when you think about it, it's not really that big. But then when you think about it, it really is.
The thing is,
it's
it,
like you
it
know
wasn't
that,
her
it's
fault. Like
definitely not
someone
dead.
else had created the article, and Google had pushed that article to me.
Yeah.
Because I've looked at things related to Game of Thrones, so it was probably just
It thinks
in its
it thinks it's
algorithms.
being
It's
a
like,
good boy,
you want to
but
see
it's really
this,
not.
and it's like,
I had
no.
a similar one on Monday night before I watched it, and it came up. I'd imagine the same thing as you, and it said Maisie Williams, and I saw it and went, swiped it away. Swiped it away before I could even see anymore. I saw Maisie Williams, and fortunately,
Well,
like, yeah.
Google have got an angry customer now because I've turned off all of their notifications.
Well done.
It's,
It's the only way to deal with it.
it's bad times. I'm just throwing it out there that I'm very angry with Google right now. It's like a broken relationship.
I hope they hear this.
Yeah.
I hope they're listening.
you
They should be
listening, Google.
listening.
Shout out to my ex.
Shout out to my ex.
No, it's not a shout out to my ex.
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
Right, predictions. Let's
Yeah,
start.
let's-
Right, Joshua.
Yeah, I think it's our guest tonight. You should get the
Yeah.
honour of going first.
What, but
So,
wait, is
can we
this
just
people,
stop-
Is
can we
this
just
people dying? Or
can
is
we
No,
just-
this
in
is
the-
any kind of I would say.
General predictions, but I think the general rule as well is that we only predict one death because then if you predict too
Okay.
many, then no one else gets a chance to predict.
Who did I?
Who did you say last time?
I was trying to
You
think.
said Daenerys.
No, I
didn't.
said
Yeah, you
Daenerys.
did.
No,
I
I
said
didn't. That
Daenerys.
wasn't
Oh,
me.
okay, it was you.
That was the last thing I was going to say.
Who did you say?
Who did I say? Oh, did I say Brienne?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
she'd
did.
just been knighted.
Yeah,
Cerberian,
she'd just been
yeah,
knighted,
okay.
yeah,
It did
yeah.
make sense.
So I was just like, that would be a good death because I don't actually want her to die, but I could see it not being.
I just think the last episode there just was no curveballs. I was expecting a curveball.
Yeah.
Someone you did not see dying just gets taken out, and you're really like.
At
what?
one point, I thought Sansa was going to die.
Really?
I don't know
Yeah.
why.
I thought she was going to kill herself.
I
we
thought
never-
it was like shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
hiding like a little
I
bitch.
thought the same, and we never actually talked about the crypt stuff.
Yeah,
really.
that was
not
bad.
really.
That was
But-
because they're just hiding, aren't
Yeah, so it made it kind of implied to me that her and Tyrion were holding hands, like last ditch effort.
Romeo and
We've got
Juliet.
nothing left. Let's kill ourselves to
Romeo and
stop
Juliet.
basically getting absolutely mangled.
Yeah.
Turns out, so I saw some cut footage. That was them going like, okay, let's do this. Let's try and defend the crypts. So they actually go out
They're
and
about
they
to
attack
go.
some of the whites.
That's what I thought was gonna happen.
So that's what actually is meant to happen. But like me and Miles, we
don't
both
see
thought
anything
they were
after that,
literally
do
on
you?
the verge of suicide.
That's how it comes
I thought
across,
they
for
were gonna-
sure.
Honestly, I thought they were going to go out and
What? You're the best I've ever had.
attack. I thought they were
you're the
going
best
to
I've
go out and
never had.
attack, but that's when I thought they were going to die because I thought you were about to go out because they were sitting there, kept looking over, holding that bloody thing. I was like, right. I thought they were either going to do that or kiss. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? I thought they were
Yeah.
either gonna like have a small little kiss
Yeah,
and
I-
then go. And
See,
then,
I kind of thought that they were going to be like, you know what? You're not a bad guy. You're not a bad girl. You were a good husband. Like
Yeah.
as much as we were forced into it at the time,
yeah.
you were good
Yeah.
to me.
That seems.
And then they were
that
gonna-
scene was uncomfortable for me there because it's just like you got like kids and babes getting dragged around by these things that have just come out of the ground, like the undead,
Yeah.
and they're literally just chilling behind this big boulder. Or
I'm gonna give a-
tombstone or
I'm
whatever.
going to give
it
a
is.
shout out actually to Varys. Is it Varys? Varys?
Yeah.
Because he was chilling there with hands in his sleeves, just kind of with all these kids behind him, like they ain't getting the kids. But then both of his hands are still in the sleeve, looks cool as a cucumber.
He did have some blood on his all hair, though, didn't he? He was like, oh shit. But
There must have been splatter.
Yeah.
There can only be
Yeah.
splatter.
It was just
Found
very
this corner
bizarre.
with all of you in
Was
there. Like,
Yeah.
Mate.
I don't understand how they.
Okay.
I thought they would have took more control down there. I was just like, I thought someone's going to take control here straight away, run over. Do you know what I
straight
mean?
before
But
they've even
no,
managed to get out of their tomb, they're just going to get
I
the old
thought
stabby on.
Lady Sansa, like she's proved herself
Yeah.
to be a wicked leader, and like she
Yeah.
comes down to the crypts and she's just like not making eye contact with anyone. Like I'd
She
have
was
thought,
forced to go down, which is
like,
too
I'd
rightly.
have thought
I think.
everything she's done so far should have gone down and gone, guys. Great news, we're winning. You know, even if it was a lie, I'd have thought like, but she didn't do
Yeah.
anything.
If
like,
if her mother had seen her just cowering behind that tombstone though, when people were like kids and that were getting killed,
Yeah.
she'd have been fuming.
Yeah.
I don't understand why.
Well, if she did kill herself, it would have been
She'd have
running the
come back
family. Running the family.
I thought you meant the mom was going to come up, one of the dead. Just like,
Yeah. Well, she was. Sorry.
I was going to say, like, time conscious, let's push on to these predictions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
So, Josh, what are you saying?
I mean, okay, death. So I'd
To be fair, you've got a good number of people that would probably you
yeah,
good
like,
for, to be fair.
there's so many. I'm probably just going to say Khaleesi. I just think she's got to go. And I think it'll be one of those things where this is prediction as well. I think Jon will end up being on the throne, but then he won't want it for whatever reason, or he's just not that kind of person. I don't think he wants that.
Yeah, because he's
Personally,
awkward, isn't he?
yeah, he doesn't want that. And then I think it'll end up being, hopefully it'll be Sansa or something. But just a bit of a curveball. It's something like Tyrion. He's gonna do something, but I don't know what. Because you see in the way he
Yeah.
keeps on getting all these
Yeah.
awkward kind of looks as well, like when he's
Yeah.
looking up at. Is it
If
Sansa?
Tyrion at
Wait,
the end
who's
turns
he
around
looks
and
at-
is like the fucking Lannister of them all,
Yeah,
and
that's
just
what I mean.
turns
That's
around
what
and
I'm
that would be
saying.
the biggest fucking.
we kind
thing.
of
And
mentioned this, though, didn't
that
we?
is what kind of I'm getting at. Like something like that. I don't know the exact.
Like I can't see it because he's genuinely been
'Cause he
such a
hates her.
great character, hasn't he? He's been fantastic. But if he actually turns around at the end and thinks,
Like
"Fuck
this,
it, I'm
the guilt,
gonna-"
like the guilt might trip in that he killed his dad or something, and then he feels
Yeah.
like he owns. I don't know, he owns
Oh,
Cersei
okay.
one or something. I don't know, but yeah, probably for death though, definitely Khaleesi. I'd say probably yeah, Khaleesi.
Yep. George?
What did you go to me?
Ryan?
See, now you know how I felt. I was a bit like, oh
That's
god.
what I said you. Let's put the kid on the spot.
So my death straight in is Arya.
No,
Really?
I think Arya's going to bite the dust.
That's the writer's favourite character. It's not happening.
So, okay, look, hear me out, because it basically has a link to something I've been dying to happen for a while. So, obviously, Arya is an assassin.
Valar Morghulis.
Cersei is top of her list.
Yeah.
I reckon she's going to try the old assassination. Mr. Mountain is going to get in the way. But then the Hound is going to be like, oh, no.
Yeah, they're definitely fighting.
And then the Mountain is going to kill Arya because it's just basically human bulk. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop that, especially when you're Arya's size.
But she's still got to kill. She's going to kill Cersei though, 100%. Isn't
Hold
she?
on.
The green eyes.
No.
The green eyes. She's got to kill someone with green eyes.
don't know.
And Cersei's got green eyes.
I didn't think
It's
about that.
happening.
Well,
She's killing Cersei. 100%.
think so.
maybe she succeeds. Maybe she doesn't. I don't know.
But even if she
I
does,
think the
I
Mountain will
want
kill
Jaime to kill
Arya.
her.
Sorry.
And then the Hound and the Mountain will fight.
Clegane Bowl.
Clegane Bowl will happen.
Clegane Bowl.
I think because
Bowl.
of the way the Hound reacted when Arya was in trouble last time, I think he's going to try and come to her rescue in the
Do you know what'd be wicked? I tell you what would be wicked, right? Arya and the Mountain are fighting, and out of the sky, a bunch of geese.
Comes another eye.
The Hound
We need something bigger than crows.
has to be geese.
600 geese follow.
Perfect V.
That's kind of like a fan theory that I would like. I don't really think Arya's
I
going
don't want that to happen personally. If it does, I'll be a little bit. I just can't be arsed with.
If your fan theory involves a flock of geese, I'm just
I
gonna
honestly think Jaime's going to bite the dust in the end.
Him, like, so
Yeah.
gorgeous.
I think
Jaime's
because it's had that kind of whole arc where he's gone all the way from being a dick to a true hero to like a proper knight, and he's going to like maybe like sacrifice himself doing something. Don't know what, but it's just an inkling.
I think he'll kill Cersei, and that's fine
Maybe
with
he
me.
will.
He's
Who, Jaime?
Well,
He's so
see,
gorgeous.
That goes back to that
Right.
theory. You know that scene
The
where
witch's theory.
Cersei and Jaime, and they're on the map, and apparently she's standing on. Obviously, you know, there's that. What's the word? The thing about she's going to get killed by a younger brother. That's what she was told. That's why she always hated Tyrion, because she always assumed it was going to be him.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it could end
the
up being
prophecy
Jaime.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
everything
sorry.
about that's come true. But the only thing I would say is there's one scene when they're on the map, and apparently she's standing on part of the map, which is where there's like the neck in the land,
Yeah.
and he's standing on part of the land which is called the something hand. So basically implying that he's going to strangle her.
Yeah.
So that's something
Yeah,
think
out
I've
there,
seen
but
that.
I don't know.
I think maybe she will.
I hope that.
Maybe that's buying. That's fans buying into something maybe
But
way
I
too much.
want
but-
Jaime to be the one to kill her.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I
also-
also,
I think-
Final fucking year.
and what about what you call it with the bow? Is he going to
Yeah.
do it? That'll be the curveball.
That
will be a curveball.
No one thinks he's going to do it because he loves them both the brothers. But I bet you he does it for money.
He's a
that's the
mercenary.
But,
curveball.
okay, so I'm going to take you back
Called
to
it.
a quote after Tyrion was captured and he was released because he won his trial by combat through Bronn. And on the way back down said, Mr. Mountain, he said, "Oh, this is a bit of advice for you. If anyone asks you to kill me, don't bother. I will pay you double. I like living."
Yeah, he did. He did
Said
say
it.
that.
He said that words directly to Bronn, so it's whether that is actually foreshadowing something that could happen.
He's gonna realise
There is a
who's gonna be the winning.
Yeah.
But you
It's-
got to
it's
remember,
not
there's
about-
going to be curveballs. This is what I mean.
There has to be.
There's going to
What's
be
it?
shocks, and I'm just trying
There's
to.
a theory that Bronn is going to. There
king.
was something that was said between.
That'd be great. Yeah.
There's
Just
something
want a
said,
woman and a castle.
he said that, yeah, but he said something about two castles. There was talk about two castles, right?
Yeah.
I mean, towers.
Whoa, no,
sorry.
mate, no, easy.
Look to the
easy
east.
now.
I'll keep bringing this up.
There was talk about like, sorry, this is not good radio, but like some shit was said about him having two castles, and it was like you can't manage two castles. The twins with the bridge,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe.
yeah.
maybe.
Well, okay. That was kind of my prediction.
Okay.
Not the twins, but the bit before. Let's throw it out to your prediction then, Miles. We're going to leave George till last.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine.
You doing who's dying first or what?
Yeah, I think we're going to have I think if you split the characters into A list and B list, your B list unfortunately involves Brienne. Pod, Tormund,
Pod can't die.
Gendry.
He's invincible.
Yeah, I do hope Pod is. Pod is more of an S class, isn't he? Like just ridiculously good. We'll be there.
Sex
till the very
wizard.
Wait, he can't die until we know the story.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
If he dies, I'm out.
We could do with a
I
spin-off.
ain't watching the rest of them.
You know, like Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
I could do with a pod.
Podrick at the prostitute.
And then the A class characters. That I think at some point,
Cool pod.
John, Tyrion, or Daenerys might die because it's Game of Thrones. And
You're
we're on
covering a
about
few
couple.
bases there.
I'm just saying one. But I'm going
want
wide.
a name.
I'm going wide because in a few weeks I'll be able to say I predicted it, mate.
I want a name.
No, to be fair, we did say one name.
I
You get
want a name.
one shot.
I've already forgotten who I said. Oh, Khaleesi.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, Khaleesi, Ryan? What did you just say?
So my kind of like joke one was Arya because I want Clegane Bowl to happen, but kind of truly I think Jaime could bite it in the dust.
Jamie.
I think that's a good prediction.
I
that's a very
think
strong
Jamie
prediction.
will go. Yeah.
I hope not, because I kind of.
I don't want him to, but I think,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For that reason, I think that he will.
I think for me, Daenerys is probably going to go in the height of battle. It's going to be almost sacrificial, so Jon can take the throne, and he's going to be humble about it. And he's, I'm Jon Snow. I don't want this. I just want to live in a hut. I'm Jon Snow. It's like
Shit in a
you'll be the
bucket.
best leader we've ever had. I'm just Jon Snow. I just want to live in a hut. I'm humble, and then he'll eventually be the best king there ever was. I don't know.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like Khaleesi's more selfish. Like I think Jon Snow would die for Khaleesi to be queen, if that makes sense. But I don't think it'd be the way around. That's only my opinion.
But I wonder if she'll die in the heat of battle
That
because
classic relationship. He likes her more than she likes him.
Boy meets girl.
See, I still think it's interesting. Obviously, like the only people that know that Jon Snow is Aegon Targaryen is essentially
Three
him, Daenerys, Sam,
Who's
and
somehow
Bran.
still alive.
And it's whether they want to disclose that to the general public because he might just be like, "Look, this is who I am, but I don't want to be king.
Yeah.
So you go for it.
Maybe
it don't bother me."
Maybe he takes up some kind of mantle. Maybe he thinks, maybe we see a different side of him where he thinks, no, this is what I want. I want these kingdoms now. I want the 7 kingdoms.
He might only realise something like that though after like Sansa or Arya dies though or something that triggers him, like gets him really
thing of like what happens after all this. Let's say that in a
Sorry.
Did you
Sorry.
fart? Did you
Just
fart
have a
then?
thought.
Oh
No,
right,
no,
sorry.
just
I
had a
thought
thought.
all right.
Just had a.
Let's
Well,
say
hold
that.
that thought because we're
Big
coming to
thought.
your prediction next.
Yeah, that's
Just a
fair.
quick thought. Let's say the good guys win the battle, everything's sorted out, right? 7 kingdoms, blah blah blah. What happens with the wall? Because the wall is not down. Like,
What's the wall?
is the Night's Watch still going to be a thing now, or
Well,
is that?
it's gonna have to be, but that thing was put up by ancient magic of some sort. That's how it was
I
created.
don't think that's a thing anymore.
It was to keep the wildlings out, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
And
now
the
they've
Wildlings
they've
are
almost
also-
befriended.
It was to keep the White Walkers out.
I thought it was
not
the
the
Wildlings.
Wildlings. No, it was to keep the White Walkers out, not the Wildlings.
I thought the White Walkers were only created by the Children of the Forest. Though,
the
wasn't it?
Wildlings. No,
No. The White Walkers were created.
Yeah, but they were to
I'm
keep
not
them.
sure.
They were to keep them out. Not
No,
the
I
Wildlings.
thought the Children of the Forest created the King, who
Yeah.
then created
But the
Rose
Wildlings,
Dead
the Wilds,
to protect
the
the forest.
Wildlings used to. I'm not saying I'm 100% sure. I feel like I'm like 95% sure on this. I read something the other day. It was about a book comparison to the TV, and it was saying when it got built and for the reasons for it.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember any of
And
that.
from what I read, it was built to keep. Like thousands of years ago, it was built to keep the White Walkers at bay. The other side,
yeah, no, I
because-
get you,
Because
yeah.
the White Walkers.
But surely,
so you know the magic that keeps it up.
Yeah.
The whole point is that the White Walkers actually couldn't go to the side of the wall. So
Yeah.
if you actually took one to the
couldn't
side of
pass
the wall,
the
it
wall.
would die.
Yeah.
So it
No, I
was
get you.
actually. See what I'm saying? So when
Yeah.
they broke it,
I think
the-
it
the-
was
go through
built
But the
to
only
keep
thing-
the White Walkers out.
Yeah, but how come then? Obviously, the Night's Guard's been established and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when that guy comes to Ned, he chops his head off and he says White Walkers. Oh, it's both
big-
that was
it's
a long time before.
Yeah,
that.
no,
it's
it was
because
like
it was
thousands
thousands
yeah.
of years.
But I
and
say, yeah,
the
yeah.
people from the north went to the side of the wall, lived out, become the real North or whatever, they say, do you know what I mean? And it was all very, but yeah, I think it's just because it was so long, and then they stopped believing in White Walkers. It was
the
so
reason why
long.
they were trying to keep the wildlings out was because essentially all they wanted to do is like raid and pillage and kind of cause chaos.
Yeah,
So
because I remember obviously near the start, you're just like, oh, fucking wildlings, Jesus shit, these guys are bad. Do you know what I mean? And then like, oh, yeah, they're all brilliant.
yeah, because they're all like, it's only once you see Mance Rayder as like king beyond the wall.
Yeah.
Before that, they're all like individual clans that are fighting each other. They're just kind of like scrapping between each
Yeah,
other.
it's all very kind of
So
Just like cavemen.
medieval-ish kind of, very more cave-like.
They are
actually,
like cavemen, aren't they?
right.
Yeah.
should we get a prediction off you then, George?
Yeah.
Let's go for the death.
First of all, before my moment was someone that I think this season, and I can't remember if last season we missed a lot of it as well, which is from Bran, which is all the time kind of him seeing what happened. And I know we kind of, that got put in place so we could see who Jon was, really. So we could, oh, right, okay, so actually Jon is of these two people. But I feel like there's when he goes off and he goes off and his eyes roll back, I feel like we need to see where he's going again. I feel like I want to see what are you seeing now? I want to see what he's predicting or what he sees the future to be, or what.
We did see a bit of it during the battle.
What was it? Sorry.
We did see him walk into the crows.
Yeah. No. But I'm talking about the whole, because he essentially changed the future from the whole thing with Hodor.
Yeah.
So he basically
Bran.
went back in time, saw what was going on, and from the scene, if you go back, because he affects that, doesn't he?
Affects his life.
He actually
yeah.
affects that from
It's like
another
a
point.
domino effect, isn't it?
Exactly. So he actually went back in time and caused something. So I feel like there's something missing there. I was just, why is that such a small thing just to show us this? And I'm just like, okay, what's going on? Because if not, I'm thinking, Bran, you're dead, buddy, because what else have you got to give us? I'm not saying this is not my prediction.
Yeah, he'll take
agree.
a back seat now,
I'm
won't
just
he?
like,
I can't.
what?
Can you see him playing a big role in the last battle?
No,
I
don't.
can't.
Like,
Not
this
against
was-
Cersei.
This was Bran's kind of like.
That was
sitting
his
down
bit, I
moment.
think. Yeah,
Like-
I think that was you're on the back shelf now.
Yeah.
I don't think he's really going to do much. Saying that, they have seen. Oh well, this is another. That was nice.
It was, yeah. Yeah.
There was a scene where they've shown it's like extra footage, like you've obviously been watching. I haven't actually seen any of it, but I saw this video and it was him almost like in like a King's Landing setting in summer clothes. It's implying that they take Bran with them.
Still in a chair?
So, in the what? Sorry.
Still in a chair?
I don't know. They just show you
sorry.
his outfit,
Okay,
but he's
fair.
in like summery clothing, and it looks like it's almost like they're on the way to King's Landing, like implying they're taking Bran with them. I don't know
okay.
if that's true. But
Yeah.
So something I just want to refer back to with the Hodor thing. I think it's kind of through that he's kind of learned his lesson with essentially time travel.
He's getting to grips with it.
Yeah,
isn't
he was just like, I can't do that shit again because I could change something.
Yeah, fair.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying though?
Yeah, no, I
We
get
saw
what
it
you
and
mean.
now we don't really say it anymore, or there's no meaning behind it. I thought because there was this whole, because he had this mission, didn't he? Remember, and like he needs to become the three-eyed raven. Like, well, really? Because it seems as though if you weren't really there, all this would have happened anyway. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, it's just like,
What was the point?
why? No, but like, why did the Night King want to get to you? And this is what I'm trying to. This is why
he
did
wanted
he
to-
need to
I think
get
it
to
prob-
you?
Was he the only threat in a way?
Well,
But I did. This
No,
is what I mean.
it was to wipe out memory. Because
to get rid of
he
the
can
history
do
of
what-
men.
He's got memories.
Sorry,
of
go
the
on.
world.
Go on.
Sam Tarley does talk about
yeah,
it, doesn't he?
he says death is
summarises
to
it.
memory. So if you can get rid of your memories, that is death.
It's like killing. Yeah, exactly. So when you
Right.
die,
So
you see nothing.
if he can kill the
black.
three-eyed raven, he's getting rid of all of the memorable history.
Right, I'm with you.
Yeah. So it's how he
Fair
could
enough.
see that. What do you call it was John.
Oh, there you go.
that he's
No. That
John's
is what I
uncle,
wanted to
whatever.
know. That's why I brought it up.
I
was
suppose
just
like normal.
well,
if you kill a normal person,
Hang on, how
they-
have you gone from prediction to that?
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Yeah,
It just
give us a
popped
prediction,
up,
man.
No, my thing came up and I was just like, well, what are you doing now? Like, what importance do you have? Anyway,
Who's gonna die?
Your mum.
Your mama. I don't know. Who is gonna die? I think there may be some kind of. I think someone's going to kill someone.
Shit.
Damn.
Breaking news.
I think a good person that we all like, someone like Sansa, might end up killing someone like Danny or something like that. Someone we like is going to end up, or maybe John ends up doing something. We're like, fuck, John, we've all loved you for this, like, and now you've just. Do you know what I mean? I feel like someone's going to fuck up and do something like bad to someone else we really like.
I think that's Tyrion, though.
Yeah,
that's
this is what's
scaring me.
Tyrion may kill someone like.
I can't see John doesn't. I think he's got the backbone.
Maybe Tyrion kills John
For Khaleesi.
for Khaleesi. Maybe
Interesting.
Maybe
I like. We're literally creating these now.
I like it.
Maybe it goes down
We can
that way.
combine two theories and create the
Yeah.
ultimate theory.
All we're doing is taking two characters and going, they killed each other. But what's interesting is what we're all hoping for is a curveball.
Yeah,
in a way, but I think that is
But the
Game
thing
of
is,
Thrones,
I think
though,
this is
isn't
why
it?
you don't try too hard to predict stuff, because otherwise, if you predict every possible outcome,
Disney
it's
does
never
not
gonna
own
be a
this.
curveball.
Yes.
It's not a happy ending.
You know, like it could just be everyone dies in a fiery explosion. I'd
That's
be
it.
like,
Yeah.
It's
fuck.
the only thing that
Yeah,
annoyed
like-
me about the first few episodes. I just don't feel like there was enough like shocks. It was all quite predictable.
Maybe they're
It
just
was
building
good.
up to
Don't
it.
get me wrong. We all love Game of Thrones. Like, it was still amazing cinematic, like the scenes and everything, just crazy. But just there wasn't no shocks. I just was a bit meh. You know, it's one of them.
Okay.
But
Well then,
I think we're gonna get our fill now.
I think we've had
It's gonna
some
kick
mighty predictions of deaths.
Yes.
We'll see if any of us were right.
Death by geese.
In,
By geese. That
in a
would be
couple of weeks,
I don't see.
pecked to death. Yeah.
Hey, how about
I don't think we're going to get many.
Scene of the next
Just pick up Cersei.
These geese going overhead. It's like, last night.
I personally don't think we're going to get many deaths in the next episode coming on Monday.
no.
I
It's
gonna
think
be-
it's probably going to be the episode after,
Yes.
because if you look at who directs, so for episode 4, it's the same guy that directed episode 1 and 2, and then episode 5 is the same guy that did
Damn it.
the Battle of Winterfell, Battle of the Bastards, and Hardhome. So that's going to be
Battle
To be
of
fair,
the
I
battle
think
time.
the next
you know?
episode is so predictable because in the trailer, so the first 20 minutes is going to be them getting over the battle, burning the bodies. You could see all that in the trailer, couldn't you? And the only other thing is with that, I was thinking, were they doing that for like for disease reasons, or they're doing that thinking,
Doing
is there
what,
a
sorry,
chance
disease
that the Night King
reasons?
could
I think-
in any way ever come
I think
back?
it's a respect thing, because in the North they burn their dead.
Yeah.
but there's going to be a lot of Unsullied.
And I think that's it. I think there's just so many bodies that they can't
but
dig
that's what I mean.
graves.
So it's from a disease standpoint,
And if-
as in like it's
Yeah,
unsanitary
and I mean,
to
if
not
they're
burn
they're
them.
in winter, they can't bury him.
I was just buying into it too much. I was thinking, fuck me, if the Night
You
King could
are.
ever come back and just rise all, you know what I mean? But I was probably buying into it too
I mean,
much.
I like how you're thinking though. We've got to think about their toiletry systems as well. What about waste disposal?
Sanitary towel.
I was literally about to say that. Sanitary towel.
So I just want to ask, like, how many soldiers do we think's left after the Battle of Winterfell?
I think it's
That's-
basically Jamie and
do-
Brienne.
I've got to admit, in Game of Thrones, they do seem to just pluck armies out their arse.
because
Like, they'll go
that's
for a
it,
big
yeah.
battle, and then 2 weeks later, it's like, yes, this is my army.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, yeah, you've done well there.
because what I was thinking actually is that Dawn hasn't done anything for a while.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie, that actually. I mean, I'm not.
They
You are
literally have
right
never
there,
involved
Josh.
their army in
and
anything.
they're decent.
But I
very
did just
decent.
see old people in that. It was just like Winterfell was
Yeah.
just. Fit. I never saw any fit young blokes
You see,
like.
that's what reminds me of Helm's Deep as well, though. Like
Yeah.
the old blokes going
Yeah.
up and
Got,
picking up the
fucking hand
spear.
quivering. Let's go.
Yeah, shoots him in the shoulder.
I got a fun fact.
Yeah.
You know, 3/4 of foals were in the battle,
What?
as in the band foals.
Foals, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Other than Yanis, the front man.
You know why that confused me then? Because
Yeah.
you said 3/4,
Yeah.
not 3/4.
3/4.
You said 3/4.
I was like, well, I'm very
I was
confused.
thinking,
right
I
now.
was thinking 3/4 in my head,
I
but
thought you were
yeah.
talking about young horses in foals. I was like, I thought you were talking about the amount of young
Yeah.
horses in the battle.
Yeah, that's
scene.
what I was
talking
like.
about horses.
I was like, is 3/4 a term for like 600 horses? I'm
horse
Go down
home.
road.
No,
Till I
no,
can't
no.
go more.
I will edit you out. I will fucking edit you out. Yeah, they were posting on.
Sorry.
Don't push me. They posted on Instagram that they basically, like, their manager contacted Game of Thrones and was like, "We love it," and they ended up being extras.
It's happened a lot though, hasn't it?
Been in it, wasn't it? On that one scene when Ed Sheeran was in it.
Yeah.
I bet Miles like woo woo.
We get a bit hard in here. I heard it from a distance. Anyway, let's do this quiz, man.
Yeah, I think the quiz is it's quiz time.
Quiz
Time.
Quiz it up.
Adam-
Right. Well, have you guys got your phones on you?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, could you take your phones up, please, and get up some kind of notes if you're an Apple user, and God knows what you two use.
Samsung Notes.
Is it that
Do we need notes?
Yeah, I'd like them out.
What are these, like, score sheets?
Basically,
Because that's not very good radio. That's my only concern.
no, it's not very good radio. Oh, it's a good thing it's a podcast.
Okay.
Right. So basically, all we're going to do is I've got some questions to answer. But what we can, well, let's discuss this. We can either go around it this way, and you guys write down the answer, and then we see who's correct out of those. You
Yeah,
three.
but people can still do it at home, I guess, can't they? They still got pen
Yeah,
and
people
paper.
can. Yeah, people can still do it and do it. Or we can go out on the shout out method, and who out shouts out first. But it's a little bit more because it's not like a one word
It's
answer.
a bit more rowdy.
Yeah.
I suppose if people are listening to this on the way to work, if they're in the car,
Yeah.
pull out your phone.
Just writing it
While
down when
you're
you're
driving.
It's alright, it's only a small kid, it'll be alright. As long as he's had his petit filou.
Gotta beat up those bullies.
Like how your mind went there to petty filou.
It reminds me of that video me and George watched. When that kid
Fantastic.
gets hit by a car
Oh,
and it's like a petit filou advert, they've turned it into a
Like he literally gets this little kid gets hit by a car and just jumps up, and above it says, "Good thing he ate his petit filou."
He's hit by
Bloody
a car, he's
ridiculous.
bouncing straight back
All
up.
right,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Right. So
Right. Okay.
the first question is, who? Okay, who and in what way did Littlefinger die?
Who in what? That doesn't make any sense. Are you asking
Sorry,
who killed him?
Who killed Littlefinger and how? How was he killed?
Easy one, mate.
Okay, lovely. I mean, this is where, because I'm not gonna lie, I remember the other night and I was like, wait, Littlefinger? When did? Right.
Finish, mate.
Well, have we all wrote a time when
Yep,
we've all
done.
done? Okay, so let's go with Miles first.
You want my answer?
I'd love your answer, please.
But what if these guys hear it?
That's fine because they can't change it now. They've wrote it down now.
Oh, yeah, cheating over
good?
there, mate.
I'd like
Cheated.
Ryan's
I'd
still
like to
writing.
see. I'd like.
Being
Yeah,
specific.
but to be fair,
Actually?
Ryan's the
Okay, I'd
three-eyed
like to.
raven,
I'd like
so
to.
you can just...
I like it. I'd like to see the whites of your phones, please.
Yeah, well, I'm the
Ryan's a three-eyed raven, mate.
Yeah,
I'm the fucking three-eyed goose, mate. Sansa and Arya schemed together to kill Littlefinger with a blade.
With a blade.
With a blade.
So,
Okay.
See,
so-
I just put Arya
Yeah.
and slice
because
throat.
it was
Yeah,
technically
yeah, that's
Arya
fine.
that did the killing, and
Yeah.
I put slit throat with Valyrian steel dagger.
So you just went...
You two nailed it. You still get the point, but yeah.
Yeah, only just. All right.
No,
fine.
that's fine. That's
I couldn't spell Valyrian; it kept trying to auto-correct me, so I just put special in the end.
Special blade.
Next question.
Next question is coming up. Right. Lady Olenna Tyrell. How did she die?
Who?
And by whose hand?
I don't even know. What's
Tyrell, you know Tyrell's the rose.
Mate, can we get an extra point for spelling?
No,
'Cause-
because I won't be able to tell if it's right.
George is dyslexic.
Don't show them.
I'm not showing them. I'm showing you.
Thank you for showing me the whites of your phone. Lady Tyrell, Rose of the Rose. What's her face is
Marjorie's nan?
Marjorie's
Grandma.
Oh,
Grandmama.
yeah, I know.
Grandmother.
Grandmama.
Write it down. You've got 10 seconds, sir.
Well, they've already written it down, so can we just speed it up and I'll just say... Well, you guys
Well,
can
it
say
needs
it
to
about
be...
No, go on, Josh.
Do you want me to
You
say
go
it then?
first, yeah.
So isn't she poisoned by... But Jaime gives it her, but it's from Cersei, if that makes sense. Doesn't he give her something and she drinks it? It's red, it's wine, isn't it? The grandma.
It's technically right, but kind of wrong.
In what way?
So it's a mercy directly from Jaime.
It's given to her by Jaime,
You're right,
but it's from Cersei, really.
So
he's told us that he's
Cersei
told
kind
him
of
to
wanted
do it.
her to suffer. I'm getting the gist. Not suffer, but like there was no mercy killing by Cersei. It was Jaime's like, you're old. Here you go. You're head of a house. We've kind of dicked you over a little bit.
Yeah.
Here's some poison.
Yeah, but he was still
And then-
sent
I've got-
there
I mean,
by
I've
And then
got
Lady
the guys.
Olenna turns around with quotation mark. Tell her it was me. Boom.
But you got to admit, if it was down to Jaime alone, he'd probably been like, "I'll let you walk because you're just an old woman." But
Yeah.
because it's
And
Cersei,
Jaime's such a
because
nice
it's
guy.
Cersei, she's
nice-
like kill
nice lad.
everyone.
And he's good looking.
He is a good looking chap. A very good looking chap.
He's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
good,
yeah.
Got better looking.
Shame
as
about
he
the
goes.
old sister fucking, but you know,
Yeah.
to each his own.
It's kind
One
of stopped
hand.
that though.
Yeah.
Is in rehab at the moment.
Right. Okay. So
That's like
I would
Good.
like. Okay. Should we take this a little bit simpler? Should we have almost like person's name and how? So let's say take one back. Aya, knife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's like Cluedo now. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can like. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
next question.
Oh wait, no, we haven't got the answers. So I don't know what yours is yet.
Oh, I deleted it now, but it did say Jaime
You
with
what?
poison. It said Jaime
Yeah, of
with
course it
poison.
did.
Of course it
said-
did.
What's yours wrote? What
What?
did you write on your write on
Put-
yours? Sorry.
Jamie, poison. Tell her it was me.
Okay. And what did you write? Jamie Poison.
Jaime with poison. I spelled
No,
Jaime correct
he
as
had
well.
he had reek arrow.
Okay,
with a penis.
I just
Penis
okay.
dart attack.
I would
dart.
just like to say. I mean, personally, I think that was a bit of a trick question because I thought actually, well, she's killed herself. It's her
But you surely
poison.
you,
That-
surely
that's
you could
subjective.
argue.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but she never had the poison to
I mean,
do
no,
that
but it was-
unless Jamie gave it to
by
her.
her hand, though. That's all I'm saying. I suppose so.
I think you could
She
argue
have
there's
had
three
the-
of them because I still think ultimately it's Cersei saying she's dying. You give her the poison, and he's giving her that one that's not so
I
bad.
thought that was
So-
one of the most powerful scenes though, because she's literally like, I knew I had no chance, and then she turns around and goes, "Did my men fight well?"
Yeah,
Like she just
Yeah.
knew that it was never a
I
winning
did
battle.
like her. I did actually like her.
me too. I liked her.
But she did now.
She is dead now. Right, and I like this one. I hope you all remember this. I can't remember what season it is though.
Easy.
Try me.
Little Ollie.
Oh, little Ollie. I don't think I know this one.
Little Ollie. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know. Yeah, I know. I can't remember the name of the person.
The person.
So we need to know how Ollie died.
It's not Ollie Umber, is it? The little kid that.
No,
the
no.
Umber kid.
Sorry, can't tell you. Can't tell you, mate. Sorry.
He's definitely
No conferring, please.
I can
Yeah,
tell
I can't remember
face,
the name of
definitely
the
not that.
person who did it.
Well,
Like,
the
I know who it is, but I can't remember. I'm just gonna. I got it. I know what I'm gonna put.
Ollie.
Fucking Ollie.
Um,
I'm probably thinking
What-
of the wrong
what
person. To be
season?
fair.
I will give you the whereabouts of his death. If you don't know, it was in.
That will help me set it.
Yeah, it's in the
Castle Black.
Castle Black.
And that's all I know.
oh.
Yeah, I was
Ooh,
thinking.
I
of that
can't
one.
remember.
I mean, if you think about the reasons for it, I mean, I want like direct kind of like da 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 like
I know who Ollie killed.
yeah, and who passed the sentence for that to all happen.
Yeah, well, that's what I would have guessed.
Okay.
But I'm not.
Yeah, I've got an
100%.
answer, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can't remember really.
Done.
You've done.
Done it.
Yeah, I'm done.
Completed the quiz.
Yeah, let's go.
100%.
Right, who are we gonna go for? Who's first? Let's go
read
for Ryan.
Died by hanging. Jon Snow hung him.
Yep, correct.
For
I got
treason.
one right. I got Jon Snow's sword.
Jon Snow's sword.
Yeah, I said Jon Snow's sword.
Okay, so correct. Ryan is winning so far. So we've got
Yeah.
It's a fix.
223.
2, 2,
He's
3.
he's the three-eyed goose.
The three-eyed goose.
That was so good. Should we just do like a flock of geese at the end?
You
Sorry,
know, I tell
sorry,
you what,
guys.
We're not the crows, we're the geese.
But we're flying in perfect
Beardy
formation.
Ben.
We're like in sync, but geese.
Beardy Ben can do the most insane goose honk I've ever heard. We're at a National Trust once, out in like a nice state garden, very peaceful, and you just out of nowhere goes,
Fantastic.
incredible.
Right.
Yeah, let's go.
Next one. Wait,
What can I just say?
Yeah, please do.
That reminds me. It's like you see the ones of the people talking to turkeys, and they go, and then the army of turkeys.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Sorry, yeah, carry on.
Next one. Should be a nice and easy one. Tywin Lannister.
Easy. Ready?
Completed it, mate. Wait, are we not even writing it down? Are we just going for it?
I'm going for honesty.
Oh, fair.
I admitted, like, I could have copied Ryan's answer. Like, he told the answer.
Well,
correctly.
right. I don't know if Josh really knows. So if one of you guys know, then
Oh, Josh can go first then.
okay.
I don't know.
You don't?
Wait, what was the
You'll
name
kick
again?
yourself.
Tywin
Tywin
Lannister.
Lannister.
I'm tripping here. I'm having a major.
The dad. The Lannister dad.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
Okay, go on then.
crossbow.
Bye.
Tyrion.
Well done.
On
So I
the
was having
shitter.
a brain fart.
That's okay. I have many brain farts.
Tyrion probably had a brain fart when he was shot with a crossbow on the toilet.
Yeah, understandable.
He's more than a brain fart.
I'm going to say Jon Snow by hanging.
Reading your last answer.
No,
Right. Now, I like this
I
one.
think that's 4-3, yeah. You
Yeah.
had the same answer?
What? Jon Snow by hanging? What? What, you didn't know that one?
No, I did, yeah.
Another easy one.
All right, okay.
Ramsay Bolton.
Oof.
I actually
Okay,
can't remember
yeah.
that.
No, I know. But
I know that one, yeah.
it's trying to think directly who did the killing. You know? Do you see what I'm
no, I
saying?
do know.
I will take two answers for the what killed.
Okay,
I know.
okay, I've got my two answers then.
Dogs.
Yeah,
Slash
Sansa.
Sansa.
I'm not seeing any Watson films. I understand that you all knew that one for sure, to be fair. That was a nice and easy one. I am blanking on my last one, unfortunately. And his name is... I don't know. Can't remember his name. I'm just trying to find it now.
I thought you were going to
Give
give
me
us
a
a clue.
second. No, I'm trying to find his... I'm just trying to find it.
Quizmaster
Give me a
doesn't even
second.
know his bloody questions.
Please talk
This
amongst
is
yourselves
terrible.
while I find...
I'm going to look at the peak there, man.
I basically
a
ate
terrible
the
time.
microphone.
Your parents are going to be downstairs. All we can hear is this flock of geese
Matt,
upstairs.
I'm having a terrible time editing this. But,
At least you can see the peak. It's pretty obvious. Oh, come on, mate.
man, let's not avoid this. Let's tell the wonderful listeners that you're scrolling through your phone.
Not only did he forget his beer,
He forgot the bloody quiz as well. Look at it.
It's very true. It is very true.
Can I describe the guy? What he looks like?
Yeah, sorry.
Maybe I
Okay,
can
so
help you out.
It's season 4. And we come to a duel with two men. One has got a stick.
Oh yeah, the mountain and Thingy Bob.
Yeah.
yeah, I know. You know.
Can't remember his name.
Beautiful foreign bloke.
Beyond.
Beautiful man.
Beautiful man.
Yeah.
His sister was a weirdo.
From Dawn? No, it wasn't
He was
from
from
Dawn.
Dawn, yeah.
From Dawn,
He was
yeah.
from Dawn, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that whole country.
They didn't really do anything, have they?
No.
The Cornwall.
They're peaceful, though, aren't they? Because isn't that what the girl who's going out? Was it Grey? What's his name? The leader of the Unsullied.
Oh, yeah, she was from there.
His girlfriend. What's her name?
Yeah.
Oh, his name's Oberyn. by the way.
Oberyn. Well done.
Oberyn.
Well
nice,
done.
nice. He was
Prince
great.
Oberyn.
I wish he'd been around for longer. He was cool, he was.
How did Prince Oberyn die, guys?
Yeah.
Guy's head squashed.
To be fair,
I
you
don't want
can't.
a name. I want
you
I
can't
want the
forget
object
that
used.
bit
No, you can't.
Just squeezed out his eyes and probably into his brain.
That was a brilliant scene. by the
Pure
way.
bulky hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was amazing because he basically killed him, didn't he? Hence his zombie state now. And then he.
It's a shame about his cockiness because he won that fight hands down basically.
100%. Because he was winning, and that was such a
That was so good.
pop of the old.
See, that's the kind of curveball that Game of Thrones just throws at you.
Yeah.
See, if we hadn't
Basis.
fucked up, this would have been like 6-0. 6-6-6. But
Yeah,
now
100%,
Ryan
100%.
wins the quiz.
Yeah.
What? When did you fuck up?
You in the quiz?
Yeah, me and Josh didn't get one.
Yeah.
Which one?
They didn't get the hanging
Yeah, Ollie.
or sword.
Fuck Ollie.
Little Ollie.
What a little
'Cause that got to
I
me,
couldn't.
that
I couldn't
did.
remember actually whether because I remembered he hung all of the traitors, but I couldn't remember if he hung Ollie or not.
Because he was really
I couldn't
friends with
remember.
them. He was really friendly with them. Because I remember him just watching.
Kind of
Little-
just shows how desperate he was because
little
like
kid.
all his family were killed by wildlings, so he just kind of he felt betrayed.
Yeah, and yeah.
So he
Yeah.
betrayed. Maybe two wrongs don't make a right, Ollie.
Guess you learnt the hard way, Ollie.
Okay. Well,
Should we draw this to a close?
this is the close, I think.
I
This
think
is the
so,
close.
Great little
Death
spoiler,
comes to us all. and
And
on that bleak note,
Balamogulis.
Not today.
that bombshell.
No, it's been fun chatting about Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I think
Hopefully everyone gets to listen to this before
Yeah.
the next episode. I don't think much is. I think a lot's going to happen in the next episode, but I don't think anything like of our predictions is probably not going to happen in the next episode.
I think I'd like to do another spoiler cast after possibly the end episode or even the next big one.
After the next big battle.
Yeah.
I think it might be worth doing one after episode 5 and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
see how episode 6 goes.
And yeah.
I think maybe one more while during and then one more at the end just to conclude it.
Yeah, I
you know,
think
like-
so.
I hope
we
you.
could
I hope
definitely
you're more prepared for your quiz next time.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I was more busy this week than I thought I was, to be honest. So I was a little bit kind of ill prepared, to be fair.
We get double dose of beers.
Fair. It didn't help with the confusion of what the hell we were going to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
No.
No, that's true.
But it's been good.
Yeah. So FYI
enjoyable.
for everyone listening, George is on holiday next week. Hence why this Game of Thrones podcast is sort of happening. So
We're you and me are doing one next week.
yeah, we're just gonna troll through some
Can't wait to listen
stuff.
to that.
Honestly, mate, I think we should just talk about fucking graphics cards for 2 hours, maybe 3 hours.
You know what?
How PC just shits on console for 2 hours. No, both sides of the argument.
Yeah, I'm
just
not here
all...
to defend. You know what really pissed me off?
What?
If you both watched the Prestige and talked about it without me.
Let's do that.
That would
Yeah,
actually make me
that.
cry.
Live commentary.
I'd be like, fuck.
I was
need
honestly
to be
thinking
there.
about doing an episode that, like,
Because they haven't watched it, Josh. And I bought it.
Prestige.
No, so basically about
It's classic.
2 years ago. 2
you
years
didn't buy
ago-
it. You bought it on my Amazon account.
2 years ago, I went onto his app on his Amazon account.
I remember, yeah,
and
yeah.
ordered it because I was like, "You need to watch this film."
And now you're not watching out of principle.
You gotta admit, that's a
It's-
dick
it's
move.
still
It's a
in
dick
the-
move. You know what most people go? You gotta watch this movie. Don't physically order it.
I went onto Amazon and just ordered it.
To be fair, in kind of like looking back at it, Miles could have watched The Prestige, but instead he decided to watch 7 seasons of Game of Thrones instead.
Yeah, that's true.
Time well spent.
Yeah, very true. That's a good story. Actually, should we just get out? We're talking Game of Thrones. Should we quickly get that story out before we
Alright,
end
let's end
things?
on it.
No, I think that is a next Game of Thrones.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay.
I think to conclude Game of Thrones, we should
let's-
conclude with the story of Miles watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
bit of a hanger.
Love it.
Nail bite.
Right, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening,
you.
guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Josh.
It's
Yeah,
been-
thanks
been
for
great
having
fun.
me. Yeah, it's been really good. I've enjoyed it.
Fantastic. We'll get you on again at another point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
When,
look forward to it.
you know what? That'd be a good one. The old PC versus console shout out. We'll team up. We'll have like a fight and
So,
that'd be good.
so-
we'll
so
have a
as-
fifth person as a judge.
Yeah.
Me and Josh versus you two on your
It just
PCs.
end up with us all falling out.
Yeah, we won't have a podcast for 2 months.
Yeah, well,
See-
your mom said.
I don't want to start it, but
Oh, I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
think you're
end
gonna
it.
start it,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
no.
end it.
Wait. Hold out. I don't think that there's an argument to be had because it doesn't matter as long as you're playing games.
Gaming
Last of
wins.
Us Part 2.
Gaming wins.
If you're enjoying what you're doing, then just do it.
End of, mate.
Boom.
Which is why I've still got a Nintendo Wii.
You can't enjoy that. Go away.
Playing Wii
Martin
Sports.
Luther King over here, bringing us all down to the same level.
There you go. Shut the fuck up. Right. On a serious note, thank you for listening,
Yeah, thank you
everyone.
Thank you for listening.
guys. Love you all.
And me and Miles will see you in 1 week. And George will never return because we'll have buried him for arguing about consoles. Goose formation out.